Hello, guys. Welcome to the Asia Cup brought to you by Lidoma India. I am Insane Arena, and I have alongside with me is Raider.
Well, thanks for welcoming me, mate. And we are going to enjoy the day. I guess it is going to be a beautiful one because 6 to 6 back and forth matches and the Indian qualifier. Well, of course, it is going to be quite amazing. I think and I hope that the fights are going to be lovely. What about you, Insane? What do you think about this day?
Yes, indeed. See, it's a day one for Indian qualifiers.
Right.
All the big names are in the lobby. We've got 12
Mhm.
teams: Team Mafias, Orangutan Elite, so many other names. every single big name is in the lobby. In the esports community, every
Yeah.
single player has been doing exceptionally well. I'm very excited regarding the matches. I'm really excited about the performance. And let's move on to the number of maps and how
Oh.
it's going to be played. Match number one is going to be Bermuda, as usual. Number two
Mhm.
is going to be Purgatory. Then we'll have Kalahari, the game changer, always. Then we'll
Yeah.
have fourth match. That is going to be Bermuda, Purgatory, and Kalahari. All the three maps are gonna repeat themselves.
Well, definitely the map choices are absolutely amazing because first off, we are going to start it with the Bermuda map, and after that, Purgatory is going to be there, and then again, the Red Desert. As you said, the game
Yes.
changer is going to be there, and of course, it's going to be quite chaotic, and I'm going to love the way this whole fight situation is going to be there. 12 teams are going to jump around in the map and eventually get some good medics and the guns and whatever they want to go with, and eventually fight their hell out and get some good blows. Eventually, we are going to see which team is going to get their first boya in this one.
Yes, indeed. See, I'm really excited. Number one, all the teams, every single team in the lobby has been
Hmm.
having a couple of changes in their lineups.
Right.
Some, if we talk about Team Mafia, there are a couple of additions. For see Trolex, we've got a recent addition in the lineup. Then we have a Orangutan Elite. We have a Vasio joining in the team Orangutan Elite. These changes have been very peculiar and very critical for the teams, and we're expecting a great comeback from all the teams. But towards the end, there's going to be very few teams. Three teams out of 12 teams are going to make it to the next round. I am
Oh.
really stoked about which team is going to go to the next round because it's going to be a tough battle. Six matches for the day, back to back. First three matches, teams are going to be playing with their textbook strategy. Eventually, in the second half of the day, they will switch and mix things a bit and come up with some new set of strategies, and let's see how far along they can go.
They have to go in that way because eventually first few matches are going to be, let's say, just a piloting of this particular tournament because they
Yes,
have to learn that how the other teams are performing because you can't go by the book altogether in the tournament. You have to evolve along the way. You have to get
totally.
qualified because that is something which is going to be quite crucial, and eventually the MVP of this whole tournament is going to be the leaderboard, and that is something you have to be worried about because getting qualified, getting in that top 3 margin is something which is going to be quite crucial for these giants to just slay the beast and eventually get qualified for the next one. This is the Indian qualifiers. We are
Yes.
going to witness a lot of chaos coming up today. And eventually, as you said, that the rotations are going to be there, the clashes are going to be there. And back and forth, we are going to see some teams playing passively. Some teams will be playing quite, let's say, aggressive in terms of their finishes and whatever they want to gain with. And eventually, Booyah will be something which we all want to see. But then again, that leaderboard is something I'm actually waiting for.
Actually, and also what makes this particular tournament a huge stage for the teams is because it's a multifaceted tournament. We've got
Right.
Indian qualifiers for the day. We've got then we'll have Pakistan qualifiers. We'll have Indonesia. We'll have Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and so many other qualifiers as well. A number of nations participating in this one particular tournament and trying to aim at the very stage, trying to aim at the very end result. That's going to be who is going to be the champion of the Asia Cup, brought to us by Lidoma India. It's going to be a tough battle because today we have Indian qualifiers, but these teams are going to go to the next round. Then we'll have a couple of other nation teams as well, the top notch teams from other nations. The situation is going to be tough, and then it is going to turn into a tougher situation.
Hmm.
And
Right.
it's going to be a cutthroat competition. That's all I can say.
Well, tough is just an understatement at this moment because eventually
Indeed.
the stakes are way too high.
Yes.
Well, prize pool is something to be worried about, but apart from that, it's the glory of winning this one. Is the, let's say, the belief of their fans to eventually overcome with, and that is something which is going to be creating a huge amount of pressure on all the teams which have the fan base, which are craving for the fan base, because there are going to be quite a few teams which don't have that kind of, let's say, audacity of performing and eventually getting some good blows. But then again, they have to gain some good blows. They have to actually get some good points into their favor and eventually showcase the audience that yes, they are capable. Yes, they are able to get some good boyas and eventually give some good blows, and the headshots are going to be there. And I'm actually stoked and, as you said, excited about the whole scenario.
Yeah, since you mentioned about the fan favorite teams, I would like to bring up a few names for
For
say
sure.
Team Mafias. That's number one. Number two is Orangutan Elite. Number three is TWOB. These three names, these three big giants. Rest of the teams are equally good when it comes to the competition. But then again, we're talking about the fan favorite teams. All
Right.
the three teams that I've mentioned just now, every single
लग रहा है
team,
और
every
ये
single
जा
guy
रहे हैं
in the
शिपयार्ड
lobby has a huge fan base. And coming on to the maps, the very first map that is going to be Bermuda. Let the battle begin. For now, It's a straight plane path. Couple of teams are going towards the peak area. Bhima Shakti strip, we'll have to look out for the Bhima Shakti strip because it's a centralized area. It is
Hmm.
somewhat in the center of the map. Most of the team they like to go, but here we go. Assassin's army is now at it. They have started to take the fight. Vidit was down, but he got up right on time.
Well, definitely a huge chaos is coming up, and eventually these drop clashes are going to be massive. Look at those sprays coming up. Definitely trying their level best to gain some good points, and finally also patching themselves along the way so that they don't get inflicted by the damages coming from the enemy.
Yes, see, Assassin's Army already they have started good. They've started
Hmm.
and they've taken down two frags for the team. If you talk about headhunters, I can see three frags. I can see
Right.
Punisher with one frag. I can see Kill
Oh.
Me with the two frags. And at the same time, there the teams are not stopping. They
Hmm.
are going to go for one more frag. Let's see
Oh.
Assassin's Army with it gets knocked. It's a good fight. It's a now or never sort of a situation. Assassin's
Right.
Army definitely looking very confident. But on the other hand, who's the other
Hmm.
guy right now? We can see Assassin's Army looking very confident. They've already secured four frags. With it, yes, he is going to make a huge
Right.
comeback. He will be revived in no time. But as of now, I can say Assassin's Army has started pretty good. It's a
Yeah,
positive
indeed.
start.
Indeed, indeed. The positive start is for sure there, and eventually these four amazing frags are going to help them a lot in terms of leaderboard. And then again, loss of Vidit is not going to go into vain. The team is going to perform equally well, and he will be back in no time. And other than that, if I talk about more and more teams, if I talk about Kanishk, well, there we go. Another shot comes in, but he gets knocked out at the same time. Eventually, the team tries their level best to apply some more force and eventually get some good blows.
Yeah, talking about these team, TSG Army, these three guys, Black, Pawan, Kanishk, all the three guys who are in Ankush Free Fire's lineup, and then eventually they got shifted, they got transferred to the new lineup that is
Hmm.
TSG Army. And since the day they've joined the TSG Army, I can
Right.
clearly see, and everybody would, really give me their vote on that. This particular lineup has been playing and performing exceptionally well, and we can clearly see the domination. It's a good start, two frags right off the bat. They've started legend. Generally this guy likes to bring in the aggression, but this time was not the charm. Team Chaos Vivek, he has taken him down, and TSG Army will definitely be able to come back a little more stronger than this situation.
Oh, indeed, they have to. Eventually, they have to evolve and get some good blows, and that is something we all going to witness. For the moment, Black O 3 is also running, and eventually getting some good loots is going to be the call out for these giants because now uh, anything which is actually going to help them in terms of their loots and eventually help them in terms of their fight is going to be very, very crucial for these giants. They have to get some good utility so that whenever the fight comes in, they will be able to retaliate with the greatest power they have.
Indeed. Right now, TSG Legend, this is what I was talking about. See, Legend has made a comeback. He has got right off the bat, he got revived
Right.
and he's got two frags. This is what I was talking about. This guy brings a lot of firepower in the lobby. This guy, generally, I've seen this guy hold the top fragger name in the list when it comes to
Hmm.
the overall tournament. This guy likes to stay on top. This is what he always does. But right now, Venom is in the lobby, and since I was talking about the firepower and the number of frag, Venom also plays a crucial role in the team Assassin's Army. At the same time, Cumber as well. See, this
Hmm,
particular
Ganesh.
lobby, yeah, this particular lobby, the reason why I was so excited about this particular lobby is that okay. This was a game changer. This was actually a shocker. The Mafia, the fan favorite teams, have got eliminated in the 12th spot. The very first team who got eliminated. This is indeed a shocker for me, you, and the entire public that is watching.
Definitely, that is actually going to come up as a bummer for the fans, and eventually, I think this is just the warm up that actually Team Mafia has needed. At this moment, if I talk about another team, well, a lot of loss is actually coming up in the leaderboard, and eventually, a lot of players are actually getting diminished. At this moment, 36 players are surviving, and eventually, if I talk about Team Assassin Squad, well, we have got Vidit, we have got Kwamber, we have got Warrior, Venom. These guys are looking good because they have attained four amazing frags, and eventually, with these frags, they are looking a bit more confident in terms of their game style.
Yes, indeed. And talking about the world of battle. The world is in the name, the battle is in their game.
Ah,
And this
right.
team, this particular team doesn't really require a lot of momentum to get going. I think this is a great start to their game, and they would always continue to move forward. And if you talk about the live location, that's a good job that is being done by the production team. They are currently showing us the entire drop locations. Talking about the UG army, we have they've gone towards the area of Bullseye. Rimnam village has been occupied by Aura Gaming. PVS landed towards the peak area. Assassins army chilling at shipyard. Then we have headhunters at
Hmm.
mill. 0 degree at peak. Vitality going towards Mars Electric. Katlutseva is being captured by TSG. Then we have OG, Clock Tower. The World of Battle, Pochinok, Team Mafia is the only team that has got eliminated. That is this team. This is actually a bummer for all the people
Hmm.
that are watching,
Right.
because when top tier team gets eliminated, that too in the early quarters, everybody gets a little bit of disappointment, and it's a bit upsetting for the lobby. I would
Right.
really say that it's upsetting for the lobby, but for the fans.
Well, I guess that is the opportunity. This one is the opportunity for the rest remaining teams to actually perform and eventually get some good blows, and that could be quite critical. At this moment, would like to add on, there are quite a few teams which are actually coming up in a clash, and eventually that clash can be critical. Look at those clash coming up. The fights are coming up, no doubt on that. Some shots are being exchanged. The glue walls are coming up so that they can actually take some covers. But then again, if we talk about Vivek, well, he's not about to slow down.
Yes, and Team Chaos coming up with a chaotic performance, but unfortunately, they are currently the victim of the chaos that they created. Vivek with fourth frag. Oh my god, Vivek. What a super game so far. He has to run away. He has to escape from this situation. I know this guy has got everything in him. I know this guy's shoulders are very tough, but the situation is very opposite for him. The situation is not favorable.
Right.
He has to run out from this situation, and he should look out for bringing back his own team. Unless he brings the team back, I hardly doubt that he'll be able to
Oh,
make it out. And there you go. I would really call it a caster's curse raider, because he was already in a his back was totally against the wall.
I mean, yeah, definitely. The odds were not in his favor, but then again, he tried his level best, gained four amazing finishes, and lifted his team's position a lot. But then, after all, what happens? Another squad comes in, and they were able to pressurize him and eventually made him cornered, and then again took him out. That was absolutely a beautiful gameplay coming from the enemy's quarters. If I talk about the current status, as you all can see, all the teams are trying their level best to survive a bit more. But then again, we have quite a few teams which have lost their breaths, and that could be Team TC, that could be Team ZD, and Team Mafia along with that has been diminished. If we talk about Team UG, the solo man survivor is still surviving. Now I guess the call out is going to be there that just survive till the top three.
Indeed. Orangutan Elite, another fan favorite.
Right.
The start is a bit passive, I would say, because they haven't secured a single frag. This is not their game. This is really not their game. They generally like to have a moderate situation, but there we go. Jay, that's a great open. He has finally opened for this team, and he has got the breakthrough that was needed from here. I think they have yet to cover a long path, but it's going to be a tough battle, regardless of how good the team is. It is indeed always going to be a tougher situation, because the circle is coming in small, and number of players. If you look at the number of players, 32 players are still surviving, and a live replay. That's a great job done by the production team. Live replays are really these are really needful for the team and the viewer that are watching.
Indeed, a lot of things have to be there to just learn and eventually get some good closures about these particular fights. Well, at this moment, you saw how the replay is working out, how these fights actually went out. That this guy known as Chaos tried his level best to, Vivek to be precise from Team Chaos, tried his level best to gain some good blows, and eventually he was able to trade off a huge amount of damage at that moment. But eventually he got cornered as we were talking about it, and eventually the thing was out of his hand. If I talk about Mr. JYT at this moment, he is looking very down to that particular ridge, and he's trying his level best to decipher that whether there is an enemy in that particular compound or not. Then again, we can't see anyone, and I guess he also wasn't able to find out anybody. But now the OGs are there. Pahadi was also sitting in that washover trying to decipher and get some good closing eyes on the teams coming from the blue zone.
Yeah, since you mentioned Pahadi is absolutely is a an absolute beast when it comes to sniping. He's the
Right.
sniper king, and this title, Sniper King, Sniper God title, is given to him by the fans. Right now, Headhunters, they are in a comfortable spot. I don't know. Shanku is trying to make a different move. He is not directly engaging, but this time he turns back, takes one down. But that was an unfortunate series of event. He takes one on the back, gets down. But right now, I can see Moswal, Jana Moswal. trying to give cover to the team from the far distant. But here we go. Punisher also, he also confirmed the frag. I don't know, the shots were not getting directly connected to the guy, but eventually they got their frag, they got their kill confirmed, and from here on, the circle is close. I think they are having a good spot. If you look at the mini map, they are having a high top area, and from there they have a good opportunity to do the gatekeep, and from there they can secure a few more frags before entering the circle.
Yeah, indeed. I guess they have to do the needful to just eventually rise in terms of leaderboard, and that is something every team is just trying their level best to cooperate with. At this moment, if we talk about Sham, well, he's also trying his level best to get into the blue zone. And on the other corner, if we talk about Headhunters, well, I guess Punisher and the other guys are just trying to wait and trying to just, let's say, bait out the guys which are trying to be in the zone for coming from the outer areas. Well, absolutely, the blue zone is also damaging them. Like Sham OP, you can already see a lot of blood is coming from his own ends because of the blue zone, and eventually I guess teams like Headhunters can easily operate and easily get an upper hand from that particular corner.
And talking about the current status, Aura Gaming looking confident. They've got all the four guys entering the circle. Then we have Vitality as well. We haven't
Right.
seen much of an action from the team
Oh.
Vitality, but here we go. Team World of Battle. There was a good spot. The other guy, Kaushik Malik, was at a great spot. He had an opportunity to take down two guys, but he missed that. And
Hmm.
Raider, we've all seen at this sort of a situation, if in case you miss the shot, if in case you miss the little bit of opportunity that is
Right.
being provided to you, it is definitely going to rip your team apart. It is indeed a bummer for them,
Hmm.
because you've got to take all the opportunities that are being presented to you. Do not make any mistakes, because the other team, the other guys are not going to give you a chance.
I mean, it's a do or die type of situation. Either you do it or you are going to die on the hands of the enemy. Well, at this moment, if we talk about Alex, well, he's trying his level best to put that sniper to the work. Whoa, the shots are coming up. Some glue walls have been appointed so that they can eventually survive. But look at that. A beautiful shot comes in. And just like that, Alex is at a loss. Let's talk about Harsh and the other guys. Let's see how they're going to perform. And eventually, will they be able to get their team, let's say, covered up and eventually gain some good blows, because Shanti and Alex, they're not looking that good. Insane and Harsh, well, these guys are surviving for the moment. Let's see how they're going to get it done and dusted, and eventually these glue walls are actually going to be enough to just make them survive till the end or not.
See, we can see Orangutan Elite still surviving, and Orangutan Elite is a tough team.
Right.
It is indeed a very tough team to fight against, because
Mm,
once they have the momentum going, it's almost impossible
mm,
to stop them. And right now, I think they are on the verge of getting their momentum. They are not there yet, but soon they will find their momentum, and they will keep on building strong from that particular point. Because right now, the very crucial part for the team is that all the four players are surviving. All the four tires of a car, of a vehicle, I would say, they are
right.
all in a strong position, and they are constantly trying to build a good spot from this particular point. And I believe they are going strong towards the booyah.
Indeed, Buya is something every team is just trying to watch for. But then again, the teams which have been eliminated, I guess they're also trying to do their own homework and eventually get some good blows in the next one, which is going to be Purgatory. But for the moment, if we talk about the fights, well, I believe the closing is actually coming up, and you can already see the team is trying to chase WOB's Insane and Harsh also. Some shots have been exchanged, but if we talk about Harsh and the other guys, well, they are just trying to be a little bit more dominant, and they're just trying to decipher that what will happen eventually when the fight comes in a close call. If I talk about Sham, constantly going for those loots, and eventually, oh, UG Empire has been eliminated. That's a sad sight to watch for the UG fans. But eventually, in the next one, I believe that Empire is going to rise once again. For the moment, if I talk about Kaushik Malik and if I talk about Pandit, well, they both are trying to just survive a bit more for the team.
See, at this sort of a situation, I think there are two crucial things that really matter the most. One is the the area that you're holding,
Right.
from which side of the circle that you are trying to enter, and the other thing is the man number. Right now, I think it is going to be a game changer for any team. And when it comes to man number, Orangutan Elite is looking very strong at the moment. Kaushik Malik, last man standing from the team, or Aura Gaming, and this team has lost their momentum.
Hmm.
Moments back they were four, now they're down to one guy.
Oh.
That means the situation is very tough. They are being cornered from every single point. They are being shot at from every single corner, left, right, center, everywhere there are guys. And in the center, if you talk about the team, Orangutan Elite looking very confident. They have secured six frags. I think they have a couple of good opportunities right now. They can secure a few more frags, and eventually, if they get the booyah, I think that 12 number, that number of points that they get from the booyah, that is 12, is going to be a good one to start with.
I mean, definitely a lot of blue bullets have been shedding at this moment. And if we talk about Pahadi himself, he's also trying to learn that way the enemy is lurking and how they're going to actually pull through with the blows. Well, of course, he has to patch himself for sure because the damages are coming. On the other corner, if we talk about this particular zone, well, it is going to shrink down. TSG Army on the other corner is out of the equation. They will be back in the next one. Until then, they have to just learn that how they are actually unable to survive. And eventually, if we talk about the glue walls, well, they have been appointed. And I guess when you appoint a glue wall, you are actually appointing your position and giving your position to the enemy as well.
Yes, and you cannot simply avoid giving away your position,
Yeah,
because the
right.
circle is so small. Even if you try to hold it, unless you try to hold it, it actually becomes very impossible to
Mm.
simply hide from your enemy, because the circle is very open right now. We don't have so many covers right now. The team Orangutan Elite, they are on top of the bridge. For now, at least, they are in a comfortable spot. But the next circle, when the circle goes away from them, which I believe already has gone, it is going to be a tough one. The World of Battle still alive and kicking. We've got two guys, Insane and Harsh. The main guy, the Terminator, I would say, Shanti is dead. Alex is dead. We are all down to two men, Insane and Harsh. Let's see how far along these guys can go. But Insane takes the knock. Harsh being the last man standing. Let's see if he is good enough to take down the players. But there you go. Assassin's Army has sealed the deal. And Orangutan Elite
Oh,
have
look at that.
secured the very first booyah of the very first match of our Asia Cup, brought to us by Lidoma India. Indian qualifiers, the very first team. And guys, this is what every single guy has been waiting for. They've been waiting for the booyah by the team Orangutan Elite.
I mean, definitely the kind of chaos they were actually trying to bring forth was absolutely amazing. Holding up that bridge was something which was very, very game changer for that particular team because they had the sight on every single player which was trying to rotate and eventually survive a bit more in the last few zones. So that is why I guess somewhere around Team OG had that upper hand, and eventually the way Pahadi and his teammates performed was absolutely amazing. Despite of the efforts coming from Assassin Gaming or the teams like let's say World of Battle, well, the job was not done that accurately, and eventually they were unable to survive and they were taken down by the hands of Team OG Elite. A lot of bloodshed was there, but eventually the team which got the booyah is going to be none other than our OG's Elite.
See, OG is in their name and eliteness is in their game, and that is what they have brought to us. Very first game, very first booyah. It's a great start. And a few moments back, I was talking about in such a circle, when the circle is so small, all what matters is there are two things that matter the most. This is what I mentioned, and that is what Orangutan Elite did. They had a great spot. They were on top of the bridge. They totally avoided the end fights. Yes, the final battle, they could not avoid that, but they had an edge, because one, they were at the high spot. They went to the circle early, and then they had the number as well. So there's no point any other team would have taken that away from them. They were having a comfortable start, and this is a great start to a great tournament. I think today, 5 matches to go. We'll
Hmm.
have one more booyah at least from the team Orangutan Elite, considering the way they've played the very first game.
I mean, definitely now they have actually tasted the blood, and eventually these giants are still going to focus on more and more booyahs coming up in these whole situations. So let's see what happens eventually. Five more maps to be precise to go, and eventually, if I'm not wrong, Purgatory is going to be the next one, which will elaborate new type of fights, which will elaborate how the fights are going to be there along those bridges, and eventually we all know it's going to be island-based fight, and eventually we
Yes.
will be seeing these teams counter fighting each other. Let's say not that close. Eventually, the fights are going to be there, but then again, it's not going to be that close. Obviously a lot of intensity is going to be there, and the teams which are at a loss in this one, in this first match, they are going to come back stronger. Like Team Mafia is going to come back stronger because they want to gain some
Yes.
good points in the leaderboard, and eventually, as we talked about it earlier, that only the top three are going to get qualified for the next one. So that is something they have to watch out for.
Also, since you mentioned Team Mafias, it is highly ironic that both the teams, the two most fan favorite teams, one team got eliminated at the 12th spot, the other team got the booyah. This is highly ironic. Also, I'm very curious about the drops, whether the teams are gonna go for the drop clashes or not, because the stage is huge. The stakes are too high. I hardly doubt that I highly doubt that the teams are going to risk their game and their name. Right now, Assassin's Army yet again a couple of shots are being taken at the team, and with it, he took a couple of shots. He took a couple of blows, but right now he is alive and confident. Let's see, they are gonna fall back or they're gonna engage.
Well, right now these drop clashes are something which is going to be very, very amazing for us casters, for the audience to see the kind of chaos that we want to see. But then eventually, if we talk about the players, will they want to drop in some of those vicinities where they can eventually get some good loots? But the airship is also approaching, as you all can see, and eventually let's see how this, let's say, first play zone is about to shrink in, because the first play zone is about to appear in just few seconds. And if I talk about this particular team, Hugie, just at the moment when they dropped in, Sham is the only one who is just left. Now let's see what happens to him. If we talk about Team Mafia, again, Mafia Bala is out of equation.
Yes, and right now, Team Mafia, Delete, Pain, and Rolex. See, when the game started, when the day started, I was talking about this particular edition, that is Rolex. Rolex is a great
Hmm.
guy. He has come in
Right.
as a sixth player. Generally, team likes to play with the Delete, Pain, that is Leaky, the other name also known as Leaky. These are two crucial players. The third guy, Mafia, the fourth guy, Mafia Bala, and then the fifth guy comes in as a Fauji Ajay. Rolex being the sixth guy, it's a good addition. And since the team is has been a bit busy with their own schedule, there's been a couple of rotations. The players are playing in a rotational phase. It's a good thing. See, this is
Mm-hmm.
the beauty of this particular tournament. This is the beauty of this particular venture, that every single guy gets to play their game, every single guy gets to test their skills. And the very best thing about this particular team is they always, regardless of their performance, they never lose their confidence. They come back stronger, and I'm really hoping for the same sort of a confidence in this particular tournament, in this particular event, because it is not just about the teams, it's not just about our Indian teams, it's about the battle, that is Asia Cup. Who is
Hmm.
going to be the best team in the Asian continent? Is it going to be a team from India? Is it going to be a team from Bangladesh? So the stakes are too high. We have to forget about all the teams, and we have to see which country has got the best skills.
I mean, yeah, of course, the definition of this whole tournament is going to turn a few directions. Eventually, the teams are going to play for their countries as well. Eventually, if they are be able to get qualified for the grands. So, along with the prize pools, just as we said, stakes are way too high. A lot of things are at
Yes.
stake. Both the feelings of the fans are at stake, and eventually their own pride of nation is at stake, because Asia is not a small continent, to be precise. A lot of teams are going to be there. A lot of bloodshed is about to be there, and eventually in the grand finale, after let's say 20 to 25 days of the battle, we are going to witness who is the champion, who is the actual guy or the team who got the booyah in this whole tournament.
Furthermore, and in summary, I would say it's the biggest stage. It
Yeah,
is
for
indeed a
sure.
huge stage. I'd compare this particular competition, this stage, just as a major tournament, major event. Any major event would have the same sort of likes,
Hmm.
just as this particular tournament. And right now, Mount Villa is having a drop clash. We've got two teams, UG Empire and Aura Gaming at Mount Villa. Then we have PVS and Assassin's Army fighting at the area of Brasilia. We've got the third team as well. We've got TSG Army at Brasilia. We've got three teams at Brasilia. Yes, Brasilia is a good city. We've got it can totally suffice the loot of three teams for 12 guys, but the guys are definitely going to rumble it out, because everybody wants has come here to win the battle, take down the other opponent, take down the enemies, and that is how you build your way to the victory.
Definitely. Building your way up to the victory and eventually gaining some good points is all about these whole scenarios coming up. And if we talk about next upcoming fights, let's see how Team Chaos is going to perform in this one. For the moment, if we talk about the live locations, well, we have got Team UG as Mount Villa along with AG as well, so there can be a clash. But before that, let's talk about this particular team. Legend actually went in and got some good blows of his own. Well, if we talk about the next things, like let's say PVS and Assassin, well, they are at Brasilia. There is actually going to be some kind of fight. Well, there we go. We are witnessing a lot of chaos coming up. For the moment, if we talk about Legend, he has gained one amazing flag. If we talk about Pawan, he has also gained one amazing flag into his perspective. And Black O3 gained two of those. For the moment, if I'm not wrong, Kanishk is empty handed. But very soon, I believe Kanishk will be full of the blood and will be full of those amazing points.
Yes, right now, eventually, I think TSG is gonna come up with a great game. I'm
Yeah.
really expecting, and at the same time, I would like to express my gratitude to every single guy that is watching, that has come here to support this big of an event. This is a huge event for our teams, for all the teams, I would say, because this is a great competition. It's not just about a couple of teams in India, in the Indian subcontinent. It's about the Asian teams. And since you already established that Asia is a huge continent, it is indeed a huge continent, one of the biggest, and it's got so many talented guys, so many talented players. But towards the end, the question is going to be the same: who is the best of all? Who is going to win the battle? Is it going to be someone from India? Is it going to be someone from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Indonesia? There are so many teams, so many countries that are participating in this particular venture, and we are really thankful to Lidoma India that they've brought all the teams, all the countries under the same umbrella, you know, divided by so many things, but united by Lidoma India.
Yeah, rightly said and done. And eventually, if we talk about the momentum, the fights, I believe it is actually coming up quite passive at this moment. Teams are not actually engaging in a lot of fights. They're just trying to decipher along with the play zone and eventually trying to survive a bit more. And I believe safe zone is something every team is just trying to account for. But very soon the fights are going to be there because, as we all know, if the fights are not there in the first few zones, then the fights are definitely going to be there in the next few zones.
All right, and Zero Degree. I think Zero Degree is one of those teams. I would say people really expect a lot from this particular team, but so far they haven't been able to do so well. But I'm really expecting them to come up with a stronger game, a confident game, and with good number of points, because the stakes are too high. Time and again we've been mentioning that the stakes are too high right now. A couple of heel shots are being shot at the teammate Talha, Ansh, Blackbot, and Priyansh. I've seen this particular team. I've seen this quadra perform exceptionally well, and I'm expecting same sort of a performance today. Let's see how far along they can go. Talking about UG Empire as well. UG Empire, they are also looking confident. They've secured 3 frags. I think comparatively, it's a good
Oh,
start for all the teams. But right now, the fight, the rumble, the battle has begun. A legend trying to take shots in the far distance. It's Zero Degree. Let's see whether Legend is going to get the first knock, or it is going to be the Zero Degree who takes the final nail on the coffin on TSG.
but definitely, Legend was actually the first one to actually implant some good damages onto the other team. But right now, if we talk about Legend, he's also facing some good backlashes from the corner. If we talk about Kanishk, well, he's also trying to decipher and eventually cut through like a deception for the enemy. The enemy won't be aware of Legend's flank, and eventually, right now, you can see that all of the giants are just trying to push in. The glue wall is getting crushed with this bike. But then again, Pavan is at the back end trying to provide the cover for the teammates. Kanishk is the one who is actually trying to push forward quite a bit. If we talk about Legend and if we talk about the other guy, well, they are also trying to figure out that way the team is actually going to be there. But still, at this moment, the shots are not getting a little bit more clear. And if we talk about this particular team, AFF is unable to find out that way the enemy is lurking in. Okay, Black still
Uh,
gets connected, I believe.
yes, right now. UG with 3 frags. They're trying to play like a possum right now, I would say, because they don't like to get into the battle right off the bat. They'd like to play it safe and sound. And Orangutan lead with 22 points. That's the position points and frag points from the last game. Also, there's a question, Raider, that I would like to ask you. When it
Mhm.
comes to this sort of a situation, this sort of a huge tournament, see,
Mhm.
the stage is huge. The stage is indeed huge, and there is no doubt about it.
Right.
So, I would like to ask is, how would you, as a team, as a player, as an IGL, like to play the game when the stakes are too high? Do you like to go for the survival points, or do you like to secure good number of frags first and then eventually uh, position points?
See, I like to play as an IGL whenever I play in these kind of tournaments. But then again, the thing that you asked that how will I love to play, how will I actually go with the strategies? Then I would like to add on that I want to evolve as per the matches. I will evolve and see what the fights are demanding. Eventually, there are quite a few scenarios where I am actually getting some good points in the first one. Yes, of course, I would love to go aggressive, but then again, if the aggression is not working out, if my team is back and forth getting shattered from the enemy, I won't be able to go for those kind of stuff back and forth in the, let's say, second or third match. Yeah, let's talk. Let's give an example. The first match was in Bermuda, and after that, in that match, I went in for the aggression. I was unable to secure some good points. Now I'm not going to get that aggression in the Purgatory or Kalahari. I'm going to play a little bit more safe. I'm going to play a little bit more like a by the book type of thing, where I'm going to play safe and eventually read the lobby, and after that get some good blows.
Okay, that's a good. I would say that's a good strategy. That's a good set of strategies. But talking about the champions of the last match, they played in moderately in the last game. Initially, they were moderate in the middle of the game when the circles were crucial, when the critical circles, key circles started. They played and got them a couple of frags, and then eventually until the very last moment they went back to their passiveness. Let's see whether this particular strategy is going to be a helpful one for them in this game. They've secured 5 frags. I think it's a good start. Every single game they're trying to play moderately passive, moderately aggressive. When it is need of the hour, they go in aggression, full aggression. Eventually, they fall back a little. They hold their ground and they find cover. That's the most important thing, and I think that's the game changer for them. This is what they've. This is what has brought them a nice and tight booyah in the last game, and I am looking forward to a great game in this one as well. So far, they are looking confident, but right now, the World of Battle are wanting the world and they are trying to battle it out.
Indeed, they are trying to get some good blows. The battle is coming up. Blue zone is also coming up. There, it is also catching up quite a few. But now you can see a 1v1 kind of perspective coming up. If we talk about this particular guy, the old monk is also trying to perform equally well. On the other corner, if we talk about Insane, he's also trying to get some good closures. Well, there we go. The gun has been someone trying to just get that last, let's say, shot so that they can eventually get some good blows. Oh, knockout comes in. Blue wall has been appointed, but still, knockout is coming up. Patching himself once again, getting ready for the next upcoming fight. But still, the shot comes in and he gets knocked out. Well, that's bad for the particular guy. Now, Alex on the other corner, trying his level best to give some good covers, but is it going to be enough for Alex to survive and eventually get that team out of the equation? I don't think so. And there we
Oh,
go. The domination from Old Monk's Commerce come.
the fans are gonna get divided now. Orangutan Elite has eliminated the World of Battle. For some fans, it's a great thing. For some, it's a little upsetting thing because TWOB, as I said earlier, TWOB, when it comes to TWOB, they've got a good fan base. Orangutan Elite, yes, they've got equally good fan base. They're gonna be very happy. But right now, if you look at the current status, Orangutan Elite, yet again, looking very confident. Headhunters, let's see how far along they are heading towards hunting those heads. Let's see how many heads can they hunt. But vitality at the same time, they've lost one man. Three is considerably a good number. Then we have UG Empire as well. But this time, Panda tries to take the knock, and there you go. He gets his knock and off the bat finish.
Well, the finishes are coming up. Of course, the knockout was there, but then again, the way these guys are coming up with those finishes is massive. On the other corner, if I talk about Team OG Elite, well, that is the only team which is actually having the four-man power along with the Headhunters and Team UG as well. Okay, we have Team Mafia as well with the four-man power. That's great to see. Eventually, I believe in the last few zones, these four giants are going to slay each other, and we are going to witness one hell of a showdown coming from these four teams. If I talk about teams like TSG and Vitality, I believe their survival is something which is going to be quite crucial. They have to survive a bit more, gain some good points. If we talk about Team Mafia, Delete is there right now, trying to delete the enemies from the equation.
Yeah, with this in mind, how can we even forget about the team Mafias? Actually,
Mhm.
we could not see a lot of team Mafia, but they are still in the game. It is going to be a game changer because Orangutan Elite is in the game. Team Mafias is still alive and kicking, and they're trying to take frags. But the best part about both the teams is right now these teams are very flexible when it comes to the strategy. Generally, I have never seen these teams play so passively. Right now, both the teams are trying to play it out passively, as passive as they can. They do not want to risk it at all. They do not want to make ill moves which takes the benefit, takes the advantage away from them, which is a good thing. Generally, I've seen these teams obliterate the lobby, dominate the lobby. They always go for 1v1 fight, 1v4 fight. And I've seen Team Mafias delete, take out many 1v4 clutches. But right now, every single guy, be it Team Mafias, be it Headhunters, be it Orangutan Elite, they're playing it passively. But right now, Headhunter, they haven't even, they did not even get their very first breakthrough and we are down to few teams, and I think 5 to 6 teams we are down to. But right now, Vasio is a confident guy, and he is a great addition to the team Orangutan Elite.
Yeah, definitely. I guess this guy is actually trying to gain some good points, and at this moment, as you all can see, Payne is also trying his level best to decipher that this team won't be able to come into the particular zone. But look at that; those flashes are coming up, and eventually the damages are going to be there. On the other corner, this team might not be able to come up, and there we go. Payne gets down. Payne is out of equation. The crate has been summoned from this particular corner. On the other corner, if I talk about Rolex, well, of course, he's also getting connected with quite a few damages, and the play zone is absolutely in an open region, and that is something which is going to create a lot of havoc. And you can already see the glue walls are getting burst up, a lot of shots are coming up, and just like that, Team Mafia gets eliminated, which was not at all expected. In the last one, getting eliminated at hashtag 12, in this one, getting eliminated at, I believe, hashtag 4. But that's not a great sight to watch. But at this moment, we have got OGs, we have got Headhunters, and TSG as well as surviving. Look at that, the bushes are coming up, NXGs. I guess that guy was trying his level best to steal the thunder.
But see, if you try and engage with the giants like Orangutan Elite, it becomes very hard for you. And there you go, one more booyah in the pocket. First game, booyah. Second game, booyah. Orangutan Elite. The Ape Army must be very happy right now. The Ape Army. Hoo. Orangutan Elite has done it yet again. First match, booyah. Second match, booyah. With good number of frags in the second game comparatively. As compared to the first game, they managed to secure somewhere around 8 to 10 frags. This game, I believe the frags are a little too high from that particular number.
Hmm.
But the best part about it is 24 points back to back. First game 12 points, second game 12 points. From the Booyah, survival points, great. And they are trying to maintain the balance when it comes to the number of points. They have equal number of points from survival, somewhat equal number of points from kills as well. This team is in a cruise control mode.
Ah, indeed. Now they have actually just set their kind of carnage into the booyahs, and eventually they are getting back and forth. Just two more matches actually are there. Eventually, if I talk about in the map of Bermuda, in the map of Kalahari as well, we are going to witness two more matches. Bermuda is going to be left as a single match for the day, but then again, the kind of carnage Team OG Elites are trying to actually put through is absolutely amazing. Two back and forth chicken dinners are there. Right now, if I talk about teams like Team Mafias or Team UG, they had the four-man power, but they were unstable. They were unable to be in the zone, and eventually the way OG Elites pushed in was absolutely amazing. The zone was absolutely opened up. So I thought there was a chance for UG as well. There was a chance for TSG as well, or Team Mafias as well to just cooperate and eventually capitalize on the particular phenomenon chicken numbers. Booyah to be precise, but they were unable to just, let's say, gain that kind of
Yes.
persistency and unable to cope up with the fight. OG Elites once again did the charming thing, and now we have to witness what will happen in the Kalahari.
See, UG Empire was playing good, but there's a downside to every strategy that you use. Sometimes strategies come with good advantages, but at the same time, we cannot disregard the bad sides of it. They were playing extremely passively from the start until the very end. And the huge downside to this particular strategy is that when until the last moment, if the fight doesn't come, it's all right. You're surviving, it's good. But you cannot win the battle by becoming pacifist. They
Hmm.
tried to become, but towards the end, the battle was up against the wall, the mountains like Orangutan Elite. So, in such a situation, when the battle comes, there's a little bit of lack of confidence, I would say,
Right.
because see, you need to have your fingers moving from top to bottom, from initially from the beginning until the very end. You have to keep in, you have to maintain the fight, you have to go into the fight to get the confidence, to get the boost, to get the momentum going. From the way starting until the very end, they kept on surviving, they kept on hiding, they went into the extreme survival mode. But unfortunately, they could not make it to the very end. They could not secure the booyah, but congratulations to the team. Regardless, they still managed to get the 9 points from the hashtag 2 spot. That was a good game, but yes, they have to reconsider their strategies a bit. A little
Right.
bit of fight is really needed. I would say you can totally go passiveness with the passiveness, it's all right. But 100% passiveness or 100% aggressiveness, both never go to the both to either ends, never go to the extreme ends. Try to mix things a bit, try to bring in the good strategy, little bit of this, little bit of that, it gets you the booyah.
I mean, yeah, Bua is something which is going to be the end game for these particular teams. But after
Yes.
that, I believe the things that you are talking about is the consistency in terms of their kills and the position points. That is something I guess the other teams like UGs have to work on. At the moment, if I talk about the next one, we are going to witness the third match for the day for the Indian qualifiers, and this one is going to be in the Red Desert in the Kalahari. And we are already witnessing a few teams jumping here and there. Let's see how these teams are actually going to cut the deal and eventually get some good blows. For the moment, if I talk about team Mafias, if I'm not wrong, we have got Rolex, Sept, well, focused on the loot. Pain is also focused on the loot. No drop clashes, I believe, for them. Or is it there?
I think this area, I think there's going to be a drop clash. I
Okay,
believe there's going to be at least one other team, because this is a blue zone. Blue zone is a crucial zone.
right.
Everybody likes to go toward the blue circle where the loot is good. They get to have a good fight. But the teams are, I would say, it is not wrong to say that the teams are sucker for fights. They like to go in for the fight because this is what the real deal is. You have to get into fight regardless of how good or bad your team is performing. You cannot avoid the fight. You have to build in the confidence in order to move forward. Right now, Oswal is holding, Oswal is surviving. Punisher, where is Punisher? I want to see where the Punisher is. But right now, Oswal, the situation is very tough. His back is against the rope. But okay. Oswal, sigh of relief, because the guys were almost very close to him. They were almost at him. Right now, they could not spot him. They went back. I think they should have checked a bit more to the cover, but they did not. Maybe this was not the end of him. So he managed to survive Janam Oswal. Right now, he must be laughing with a relief or something like that, I would say.
Like for a very short period of time. Yes, of course, that actually momentum was a blessing in disguise for Oswald. But now the responsibility is going to get amped up. His teammates are getting crushed. He has to survive. He has to get some good blows and eventually be in the top three along with some good finishes. Well, let's see how these skills are going to come for that particular guy. If I talk about this particular team, well, Pawan is also trying to figure out that way the loots are going to be then enough. Yes, of course, some good guns have been picked up. They're trying their level best to fight back. But this guy, all the eyes are going to be on this particular team as for the particular fights that they have actually attained in this Asia Cup. As you all can see, two back and forth chicken dinners are already there into their perspective. Now it's all about the hat trick. Can they do it or not? We'll be seeing it very, very soon. For the moment, Pahadi is more than focused on the loots. And after that, when they get that kind of preferred loot, this team is absolutely on par. You saw that in the first few matches. Now let's see what happens in this one.
Actually, Raider, let me be very honest here.
Mhm.
Whenever you mention Asia Cup, I totally get the chills, because stakes are too high. Regardless of how many times we talk about it, the stakes are huge. The stakes
Yeah,
are too high because,
right.
see, it's not India Cup, it's not XYZ Cup, it's not just any XYZ Cup. It is Asia Cup.
Hmm.
You've got to the team that wins the tournament, the team that wins the ultimate glory is going to get the title of the best team in the Asian continent. There are so many nations participating in this one. So I think considering the pressure that these teams must be feeling, I am getting the chills.
See, apart from the prize pool of plus $6,000, I believe stakes. That's what we are actually all talking about. The stakes are way
Yes.
too high. Well, let's talk about the game at this moment in the Kalahari region. We have got live locations coming up. If I talk about UG, Council Hall is going to be the home for them. Shrines is covered up by Team AG. PVS is actually going in the refinery region. The sub is actually being acquired by ASIN and along with HH. But at this moment, we have a fight coming up, and the fight is ending very soon. As you all can see, Team number eight, or should I say, Tala's squad was able to get that amazing blow into his perspective. On the other corner, if we talk about Priyansh, well, that is something which we are going to miss. That is the guy which we are going to miss, but very soon he might be back in the game. Ansh, FF, and if I talk about BLK Bot, and if I talk about Tala, well, these are the three giants which have slayed three members from the lobby, and that's interesting. The level of finishes, the number of finishes to be precise, is looking strong for that particular team. UG, again in this one, let's see what happens to UG and how they're going to perform. For the moment, UG is going to get their first one. Ron and Nagy gets his first one into his perspective. I believe one more guy was knocked out right here.
Yes. Pew Pew Pew. That's a good name. I would say the name game of our teams, of our Indian teams and players, is at an entirely different level. Because, see, Pew Pew Pew. That's how I would say a water gun sound like. Let's see. Orangutan Elite, they've been changing their drop location. Generally, they always went towards the refinery area, but right now I could see they went to the maze area. The From the time Vasio has come into the game, they've been changing their drop location. So far, they've been doing good, but I am not really confident when it comes to when the team generally changes their drop location. But right now, talking about the fight, Vasio, Old Monk has got revived, and two players down and dusted. Pahadi and Mr. JYT. They've got to move from here. They've got to go towards the vending machine so that they bring in their best players back in the lobby and go for that hat trick booyah. Generally, we don't get to see hat tricks very much because generally out of 6 matches we do get to see. The best I have seen is Team Mafias getting 4 booyahs, that too
Mhm.
not in a single go. Like first 2 matches they got the booyah, Kalahari they missed, then again they got their 2 booyahs. So I am waiting for a hat trick booyah. At the same time, what I actually want to see is one particular team getting all 6 booyahs in a sequence in a row, which is next to impossible. Not impossible, but yes, it is next to impossible. Getting 6 booyahs back to back in one single series, it is indeed a next to impossible task.
See, that is going to be very, very amazing for the fans of OG and as well as for me. But then again, we want to see some kind of shifts coming up in these boyas. We want to see some other team rising as well. As UG survived and gained some good blows in the last one, we want to see UG or Team Mafia or some other team like World of Battle or some other teams which are trying to perform like Aura Gaming and the other teams gaining some good points, and that is something we all are actually looking up to. Because OG Elite, yes, of course, they are doing a definite job of getting qualified and eventually trying their level best to perform and get some good blows in terms of finishes, as well as the position points that they have actually gained from the previous 2 matches. But right now, I, as a viewer, or should I say caster, I just want to see some new faces also coming up in the game.
Indeed. See, watching new faces get the booyah, watching new faces give a tough fight is always a welcome respite. As casters, as viewers, I personally don't like to see one particular team dominating the
Right.
entire lobby, which sometimes I get to see one particular team dominating the entire lobby, but most of the time, I would say 80% of the times, I can clearly say that the teams, every single team gives a tough competition. But
Yeah.
this is what I believe, this is what I want. I cannot say on behalf of all the viewers, but yes, the viewers that are watching us, thank you so much for coming in, guys. And at the same time, please tell us in the comment section, which team do you think is gonna be the beast in the day one. Yes, 2 matches, Orangutan Elite has secured back-to-back booyahs with good number of points. Somewhere down the line, I think they've managed to get to the half century spot. But after 6 matches, how many points are they gonna secure? Which team is gonna stand on top? Yes, currently Orangutan is going great, but there are equal chances that some other team, they might take that glory away from the day one from the team Orangutan Elite.
I mean, the fight, the aggression is just cooking up. It is just like a pressure cooker right now. The teams which are
Yes.
actually facing the pressure, they are going to burst very soon. They are going to either, let's say, get their squad killed, they get their points as low as it can be possible, or they're going to just bloom like a flower and eventually show us that how pleasant they can be. So we are going to witness what will happen eventually at this moment. If we talk about Oswald, well, the blue zone is not blessing him at the moment. A lot of damage is coming up from that particular blue zone. If I talk about Warrior, well, still looting up the crates that he has actually maintained to get some good points. At this moment, you can already see the live scores on the left side of the screen. We have got OGs with 52 amazing points. Well, other teams are not even close. The other team, which is at the second position, has actually only 29 points into their favor. Right now, guys, let me remind you once again, we are streaming in 2 languages. That is going to be Hindi and English as well. Make sure to actually tune in on the Hindi desk as well. We have some few favorite streamers for you guys so that you can enjoy the casting and enjoy the gameplay over there also. But if you're not comfortable in Hindi, you can enjoy us here on the English desk. At this moment, PVS is also looking strong.
Yes, the point table that was mentioned there, I think Orangutan Elite are actually sitting at a great spot. Two back-to-back booyahs, two back-to-back good number of points. It has given them a good buffer, and if they maintain same sort of a performance, same momentum, consistency, which is really needed, I think by the end of the day one, they are going to create a huge buffer. Booyah does not matter much, even if they finish at the second, third, fourth. Top
Hmm.
five spot, I would say they'd still be at a comfortable spot by the end of the day, which
Okay.
matters the most. Right now, who wins the battle, who tops the chart does not matter. What matters is you have to be in the top three that qualifies from India. You have to be among the top three teams that represent India in the next circle, in the next round. And towards the end, I think the ultimate goal, the ultimate glory is getting the bragging rights of the winner of being the winner of the Asia Cup. But right now, Team Chaos still waiting for the chaotic performance that they are generally known for. But right now, the things are not in their favor.
Yeah, currently, I guess situations are not looking that great for that particular team. Vivek absolutely was able to close down quite a few fights in the previous match. But in this one, let's see what happens because we are waiting for a next fight to come in. And look at that. Vivek is also trying to decipher. Some glue walls have been hit up at this moment. Vivek is trying his level best to gain some good blows on the other corner. For talk about Scary and Prab, if I'm not wrong, well, they are pushing. Well, they are trying to close the distance between these two teams, particularly. Let's see what happens. Oh, Vivek gets shattered quite a bit. A lot of damage is coming up on Vivek's end. The glue walls are getting burst up. Yes, of course, they are definite that there is going to be a guy, and there we go. Vivek comes out with the first flag for the team. On the other corner, Scary was also taken down. So that is actually looking a little bit scary for Team Chaos as well because they're also losing some fights. And eventually, at this moment, let's see what happens. So the glue wall has been summoned. Some more shots have been exchanged. But definitely, it's not enough to put down the enemy because he's still fighting. He's still retaliating quite a bit.
Right now, see, retaliation is always going to be a tough one. Team Chaos looking forward to the chaotic performance, they're looking forward to create some chaos for the enemies, but unfortunately, they're being hunted by the team. Scary gets down. I think the enemies were not very scared of the guy. But right now, Prab, Vivek, Kasana, all the three guys, they are looking confident. They've managed to secure four frags. We still have 30 teams, but this is quite a surprise. Huge Empire, last game, they managed to come up to the second spot, but this time they have faced an early elimination. They've been eliminated in the 10th spot. It is surprising. See, this is what I was talking about, Raider. One single strategy, one single textbook strategy, you cannot play every single game by one single strategy. You have to come in the game, you have to analyze and read the game that is being played by the other teams as well. Learn and then apply, execute, and that is how you win the battle. Not every time you get the booyah, but yes, all what matters is the number of points that you put on the table.
I mean, every particular match, if they're getting some good points in terms of their average performance, if they are actually getting some, let's say, close to top five positions in terms of their survival, and after that, if we talk about the number of kills that they're getting in that particular criteria, if they're getting 5 to 10 finishes as well in every single match, I guess that is going to be good enough to just get their qualifications in the chart. But teams like OG Elite, the way they are performing and the way they are actually, let's say, getting that momentum booster is absolutely amazing. And with the loss of Pahadi, definitely it's going to be quite critical for Jay and the other members to perform and get some good blows. Let's see what happens eventually, how they're going to play and eventually gather the points that they're actually hunting for. We talk about Shanti, the Terminator. Let's see what he does and how he's going to perform because the safe zone will shrink in just 10 seconds. Are they in the zone? Well, they are on the edge. On the other corner, gets one frag from the corner of Shanti.
Right now, on the other hand, if we talk about the guy that has been lost, Pahadi, I can see couple of vending machines in the circle. I can see couple of vending machine. So every single guy, every single team that has lost their man number, they would want to go towards the vending machine. But there comes the bait as well. Generally, Raider, what happens is sometimes the other guys with a full man number, they like to sit at the place where the other guys would want to come in order to get their team back again in their four-man roster, and that's where they get the advantage. I'm really curious about whether any single team is going to go for that particular movement or not. But right now, TSG legend, the team TSG is looking confident and they are trying to close in Carnage from the right side. But he's got a couple of shots from the opponent, even though the shots could not get connected. The conversion was not possible. He fell back in time. But right now, Team TSG Army, this is the fight they must take. This is the fight they must win. Team Mafias, Delete and Pain, two men have already been lost and secured. They've already been sacrificed. But right now, Licky and Delete, Pain, also known as Licky, two guys surviving. The fans must be very excited. The fans are waiting for the performance. And if we talk about individual performance, delete. He has been deleting a couple of guys here and there.
Yeah, and 5 frags from his corner. That is absolutely amazing. For the moment, if we talk about Delete, he's still hunting for more and more hits. The glue walls are getting punished by Delete's corner. We look at those shots coming up, but still he fails to connect anyone at the moment. If we talk about Harsh, well, he's also trying his level best to find out where the gap can actually be filled. We've got Shanti and Harsh. Both of them has four finishes equally as well. On the other corner, if we talk about Team Mafia, well, after the loss of Rolex and Mafia Bala as well, the team is looking a bit shattered. Let's see how they're going to perform equally well or not. 10 players are still surviving in the lobby, and as you can see, some throwables have been used up. They're trying their level best to gain some good points, failing to do so. But Payne still tries his level best to push forward because from multiple corners the shots are about to come in, and that definitely is going to create a lot of chaos for them. Assassin's Army on the other corner is out of equation now. The remaining teams are just trying their level best to gain some good points, and as you can see, Shanti also comes up and still gets connected with some few shots. Now Shanti is trying his level best to gain that momentum, but
Oh.
I believe Shanti is out of equation.
See, collective efforts by the team gets you collective kills, and collective kills
Uh,
gets you the collective wins. And there you go, team. The world of battle has got eliminated, and for our surprise, OG as well. It
right.
also got eliminated in the fourth spot. The fans are not very happy, but I think OG has finally managed to secure a couple of good points for them.
Oh,
And there you go. The booyah goes to the team. TSG Army. This is why I always emphasize in the man number. If you manage to come into the last circles, last two circles, and if you have a good man number, it gives you a huge advantage over the other teams with the broken man number. This is what we witnessed. TSG Army were looking very confident, even though there were other teams that were equally confident, that had equal firepower. But the loss of man number pushed them into a disadvantaged position.
right.
And there you go, TSG Army put the final nail in the coffin. There you go, they've got their very first booyah of the tournament. Third game into the line. We still have three more games to go. Bermuda, Purgatory, Kalahari. First half of the day has ended, and the results are going to be out in no time. But I think the fans, they already must be having calculators in their hand, because generally they like to do all the calculation. They love to do all that for the sake of the teams, and that is what fans do, that is what the viewers generally do. And also, Raider, there's one more thing I would like to mention. The viewers that are watching, they simply don't exactly always watch it for the team. They also watch it for the preparation, because
Yeah,
they are
right.
also looking forward to a great competition, and becoming losing the status of rising stars and actually trying to become stars.
Indeed, a line very well said that you have to become the star from the rising star, and that is something which is going to be quite crucial for every other esports enthusiast
Yes.
in this scenario. Because at this moment, we all know that how the esports is bumming up and how you can easily gain a place of your own and eventually show the world that yes, of course, gaming is also something you can actually build a career with. So at this moment, I believe the esports enthusiasts and the other guys which are also trying to learn from this game, be it a caster, be it a GFX or a VFX editor, or some esports enthusiasts like you want to become a player like tier 1 tier 2 player, whatever you want to become, you have to actually get some good strategies from these teams because they have been performing from quite a few times. You have seen OG, you have seen them perform, you have seen them failing as well, because in this one you saw that how OG was unable to contemplate with their manpower in the first few matches. In the first two matches, what was the biggest, let's say, trump card for OG's corner? It was their manpower. The way they were surviving with the four manpower was something very amazing. Even though in this one manpower was not there, OG manages to survive in the last few zones, but after that they were taken down. If I come to TSG as well, TSG with the four manpower was surviving in the last few zones, but then after that, what happened? Two of their members had to be sacrificed so that TSG will be cherishing this booyah into their perspective, and that is something very very amazing. The way TSG accomplished that job was absolutely amazing, and the thing we were talking about in this mid match, I believe that we wanted to see some new faces, and I believe TSG is giving up that opportunity.
I think TSG have been listening to what we have been talking, and for that reason, they've come up with a booyah. But at the same time, talking about Orangutan Elite, the two match winners, first two matches they've secured booyahs, first two matches they won the battle. Talking about them, they've managed to get the fair share of frags. They've
Hmm.
managed to get fair share of points. Couple of points from the survival, couple of points from the frags as well. They are still sitting very confidently, and I believe the next game as well. They've got a liberty of losing a couple of matches, even though they wouldn't want to lose. But you never know. See, this is all part of the game. The game is very dynamic. The other
Hmm.
teams are trying to put up an equal amount of competition. Every single team is competent enough to get to the top. Let's see. But right now, Orangutan Elite, they've got a good buffer. So I think they have a little bit of liberty. Even if they do
Right.
not get good number of points in the next game, they would still be on the top unless some other team that is, especially the hashtag 2 team, the one that is sitting in the second position, it gets huge points. It gets a 30 or 35 points, a 30 bomber, I would say. Then only there are chances that OG loses their first spot.
See, I
Otherwise,
mean,
OG
yeah,
is
sorry for
comfortable.
cutting you, but the
Yes.
pressure is catching up, I believe.
Yes,
Because
actually.
OG Elite lost one match. I mean, they have a team side, I believe, 10 to 15 points into their perspective in this one as well. So I think the chase is not getting that close, but then again, the chase is there. Now OG knows that some
Yes.
other team is catching up. Be it TSG, be it UG, or even Team Mafias is also catching up. If we talk about Team
Yes.
World of Battle, look at that. Shanti and Harsh, these guys were having 4-4 finishes as well. So I believe a lot of competition is about to rise, but one thing which is going to rise is our plane and the map of Bermuda.
Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. So finally, guys, the fourth match has begun. Fourth match has come up. Let's see how the teams are going to play the game right now. All eyes on Orangutan Elite. All eyes on Team Chaos. All eyes on Team Mafias. Every single team is here to win the battle. It's a journey of 5 days. After 5 days journey, Indian qualifiers are gonna get over. Then we'll see top three teams going towards the next round. Then we'll see the battle where other nations also get into place, fighting neck to neck against these top tier teams. But right now, there's a good fight that is happening. Kaushik Malik, this particular chap, he's a good guy. Hanger, they've taken the drop around the hangar area. They have comfortable point, they have comfortable compounds. But the very crucial thing right now is, as quickly as you can, get the loot done, and then try to get the rotation, because a couple of frags are always a welcome respite. And if you get a couple of frags in the earlier phase, you get a good confidence and you move comfortably in the key circles.
Yeah, that is actually a huge call out coming from your corner as well. On the other corner, if we talk about this particular team, Team OG is actually trying to get some good blows. Monk was able to cherish one amazing finish and one amazing kill into his perspective. But on the other corner, look at that. The guy is trying to push forward. I believe he's actually trying to avenge the loss of his teammate. Let's see, is it going to be a possibility or not? But on the other corner, I thought Old Monk would have been actually going for that survival momentum, but he pushes in once again. He's trying to charge forward. He manages to put one down. Can he actually take the other one down? That is going to be the biggest thing. Oh, the shots are coming up, but can he survive? No, he doesn't. He has been knocked out. He's easily going to get finished off. Pahadi on the other corner, and Vasio as well is trying his level best to cherish that kind of finish into his perspective. And look at that. Vasio was able to put him down, and now the avenging is done and dusted. But Old Monk with two amazing finishes has actually done a lot of damage to the amazing team which is actually coming up on the other corner. Let's see what happens eventually. For the moment, Vasio will be able to secure his first finish for the match, and that could be the comeback momentum for the OGs.
Raider, the last month, if you talk about the performance by the team Orangutan as a whole,
Yeah.
Orangutan Elite, the last month was not so good. Earlier as well, they were not very good. They were not at a comfortable spot. The teams, the guys are, they've got a huge fan base, but when it comes to the performance, Orangutan Elite was not performing to the fullest.
Hmm.
Eventually, 1 week back, I would say, Vasio has recently joined the team, and from the time Vasio has joined the team, they are playing exceptionally well. There has been a couple of changes in their strategies, a couple of changes in their drop points. But Vasio, I would say, his experience has been coming in and making the team stronger. It has started to make the team stronger. And talk about Vasio. Earlier, he was in Enigma Galaxy. Now he is in Orangutan Elite. I'm not really sure whether this particular addition is going to be a permanent one or not, whether he is on a trial basis or he has actually joined the team or not. But so far, what we can see, what we can witness is that Vasio, his addition to the team has brought a huge change in the performance. And actually, it's a positive change. Orangutan Elite fans are very happy about the change. The team is very happy. I am looking forward to a great game, to a great tournament, and I'm really looking forward to a great future for this particular team if Vasio stays.
I mean, see, when your team, your OG squad is not able to perform, you have to evolve. And that's what Team OG is trying to do. They're trying to bring some new additions, they're trying to get some good close calls, and that is something which is helping them a lot. At the moment, if we talk about Mr. JYT, he has been chased up by the enemy. If we talk about Vasio and Old Monk as well, but they have been terminated. That side too. That is actually a sad side to watch. But at this moment, if we talk about JYT, constantly trying to fall back because he knows that now the pressure is catching up. Yes, of course, we have got two good booyahs into a consideration, but after that, now at this moment we have to survive a bit more so that we can actually come back with some more blows. He was able to put one down, but after that he was also traded off. Now Pahadi is going to be the only guy which is still surviving.
Pahadi, this is a crucial game. This is indeed a bad one for Orangutan Elite. But right now, Pahadi, he still has a chance. He still has a chance. Only thing he has to do right now is escape, play a little bit of safer game, and he has finally brought back his teammates. He was at a good spot. He was at the revival spot. He brought back his teammates. Every single guy is going to be back in no time. Most crucial thing right now is to get the guns as soon as possible. You get the guns, you get the fight, you take the fight, and then 50-50, either you win the fight or you lose the fight. But if you do not have the gun, you are most likely, I would say 99%. There still are a couple of chances, a couple of instances that I've seen a guy taking down enemies with simply the pistol, but that is highly unlikely. Right now,
Yeah.
you have to get the gun as soon as possible.
I mean, that's a once in a blue moon type of situation. When the enemy is not having the right kind of utilities like US helmet and stuff, then you are able to contemplate that kind of fight. But at this moment, if we talk about Vitality's Fav and Row, well, he has been taken down. The crates have been summoned from his corner. Avneet on the other corner managed to patch himself. If we talk about War 3000, well, he's also trying to survive. He's also trying to get some good blows. Concept is also right over there, trying to survive, trying to attack the enemy as well. But right now, if we talk about the consistency, if we talk about the type of fight that they are actually stuck with, Vitality was on the lower ridge, right? But now I guess the grounds have been cleared, the grounds have been equaled up, and still the shots have been summoned. Oh, one good member has been taken down. Avneet is also not looking that strong, and I believe with that, Vitality is at a loss.
All right, all right, all right. The Vitality is at a loss, and so far I was expecting. Everybody was expecting a great game from the team Vitality, but so far they haven't been playing their best game in the day. For the day, they haven't been playing their best game. A little bit of pressure must be coming on their backs because this is the fourth game. This is the fifth game, I would say, and right now it's a bit
This is the
tough
fourth
for
one, I
them.
think.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. My bad. This is the fourth game, and in the fourth game, if you do not manage to until the fourth game, if you are still, not in your best zone, not in your best confidence, it gets a bit tricky because rest of the two games that are left, it becomes a bit hard for you to process the losses that you've been incurring. So I think they have to make a good comeback. They have to give their best in the next two games.
See, giving your best is not going to cut the deal at this moment. You have to
Yes.
also try your level best, and along with that, you have to maintain the consistency with your teammate as well. If your teammate is unable to provide you the right kind of cover, you are not going to perform equally well. If we talk about UG Pew Pew Pew, look at that. He was way too far away from his teammate, and that is why Farhan EDM was already taken down. Ronnie Nagy on the other corner was taken down, and now BFA's Alto is also at a loss. Pew 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 is way too far away. He might actually go for the revival, but let's see what is actually going to happen if we talk about the OGs little bit far away from the zone. Vazio is actually just touching up the zone. If we talk about Old Monk, well, he is also touching up the particular play zone right now. And look at the damages that the safe zone is actually giving up. So, yeah, survive a bit more, then eventually gain some good finishes because if I'm not wrong, 5 amazing kills are already there in terms of OG elites. Now, the chicken dinner is something they are going to mark their territory on. But Team Mafia, Assassins Gamer, Team World of Battle, HH, along with TC, a lot of teams are there with the 4-man power, and that is something which is going to turn the tides for OGs.
Yes, 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 yes. So a lot many teams have their manpower. All the four guys still surviving, still alive and kicking. OG moving towards the factory area and the plantation area. A little bit of water patch over here. We can see Team Mafia sitting tight and strong. But this is quite a surprise for me that Team Mafias are not really going in with their best game, with their natural gameplay. Yes, they like to play. They like to start with a little bit of passiveness, but considering the crucial circle. This is indeed, I would say, this is the third circle, if I'm not wrong. Considering the size of the circle, I think they should have started. They should have at least get into a couple of fights, because confidence is really needed. If you talk about the UG Empire, what happened with the UG Empire a couple of games back, the same thing. I really don't want the same accident to happen with Team Mafias.
Yeah, indeed. Your calls are right at this moment. If we talk about Team Mafia, precisely, Delete was the one who was actually having the first track for the team. Pain, Rolex, and Mafia Bala. These are the three guys which are pretty much empty handed. And look at that Mafia Bala. The way he's standing is actually creating a cinematic view of the background. He's actually trying his level best to decipher that. Is there any kind of member or any kind of team which is trying to push forward from that particular angle of the zone? And is it going to be that kind of consistency? We will be seeing it very, very soon. And the revival location is also going to shut down very soon. Headhunters is also looking sharp, but they don't have any kind of finishes for the moment, and that is something which can be quite crucial for the team as well.
This is actually very crucial for every single guy.
Yeah.
Apart from PVS, all the other teams, see, we have like 9 teams still alive, and 8 teams out of 9 teams are having their best number. They are having all 4 guys standing tall, standing small. But right now, the world of battle with 3 frags and Team Chaos is actually has started to begin with the chaos. There is actually a chaotic situation. I would like to see what's happening in the corner of Team Chaos right now. The world of battle with the 3 frags in pocket. Shanti. I would like to mention a couple of things for this particular guy. Shanti, I've seen this guy play exceptionally well. So many tournaments, so many games. When this guy gets the momentum, when this guy gets his gun heated, he doesn't stop. And it absolutely becomes unstoppable. No one, not even any team in the lobby, no single team in the lobby can stand against this guy if in case he gets his gun, his ammunition, his everything heated up. He absolutely loses it, and he can see, all he gets is a number of frags left, right, center, every single corner. He secures so many frags for the team. So I'm really hoping, the world of battle is also hoping, the fans are really hoping for Shanti to enter the Super Saiyan mode and
Yeah,
get the
precisely.
great points.
I was about to say that kind of stuff, that you have to just switch on that particular mode and then look at Chonti, how he's going to perform, how he's going to get those finishes. So yeah, we are waiting for that right time period to come in. But at this moment, don't you think so that all the teams are trying to play a little bit more passively? They're not giving up any kind of position of their. And well, headhunters are actually coming up with the blue. Shanku was able to get one amazing finish into the perspective. If we talk about OGs, 6 amazing finishes are there into their corner, but still a little bit far away from any kind of fights at the moment. Well, if we talk about assassin gamers, well, one good player of that particular team has been at a loss, but all the other teams, the remaining 7 teams, or should I say 6, 7 teams, whatever are left in the lobby, are there with the full manpower. But on the other corner, Pahadi gets connected quite a bit. He's actually trying his level best to put some good shots, but Pahadi appoints some glue walls so that he can be a little bit more safe, and eventually with that, he can actually trace the fires. And look at those shots coming up. Oh, that was a damn good shot from Pahadi's corner. Just like that, a beautiful knockout comes in.
Oh yes, Pahari, he is absolute beast when he has his hands on a sniper. Mr. JYT at the same time, he's also a great guy. Even though he hasn't opened up, he hasn't secured a single frag so far. But right now, Team Orangutan Elite, they've managed to come up with 6 frags, and look at the sides of the circle. The circle is going to close in. The next circle is going to be an even worse circle for every single guy, every single team. But it's going to be a great circle for us. When the chips are down, the complications are high. That is when the casters and the fans enjoy the most. Right now, Orangutan Elite Pahadi fighting back against the opponents. He gets down as well. He gets taken down right off the bat. He'll get finished. Yes, of course. The guys, the enemies are not going to wait. They are not going to give him a chance, because if they do, if they simply leave him and look out for some other guy, look out for the fight that are happening in the different corner, Pahadi might get revived and he will come back stronger, and then he'll punish you with his gun.
I mean, definitely, if that guy is back in the game, you have to fear for your life. That is something which is absolutely going to be quite amazing. Team Mafias on the other corner still waiting for the right time period to just push in and get some good blows. But apart from that, 8 amazing kills. That's what they are actually living up to. Is absolutely amazing. Delete with 5 amazing finishes is on another level. Headhunters on the other corner is out of the equation, which is not a great sight to watch. If we talk about Team Mafias members, well, they are also looking a little bit more confident. And this is the guy. This is your Terminator, which we were talking about. Sean T is actually there with only two frags at the moment, but I believe that number is going to increase drastically as far as the zone is concerned.
Raider, I have a question. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
go
not
on.
really a question. I would like to make you. I want you to make a prediction for now.
Hmm.
I would like to predict that the World of Battle is going to win this battle. I want you
Okay.
to simply predict one particular name out of all the teams that are surviving. Just give me one name. Which team do you think is going to win the battle right now? For me, the World of Battle. Even though we still have four teams,
Yeah.
couple of teams being eliminated right off the
Hmm.
bat, but right now four teams are still surviving. Out of these four teams, which team do you think is going to win the battle?
I'll go for Team Chaos. Apart from that, Team
Okay.
Mafia is also going to perform equally well. But then again, Chaos, well, that is the team which is showing their aggression quite a bit.
Yes. That's a good pick. That's a good, and I would say that's a safe pick. Yes, Team Chaos is equally good. And this time, in this particular match, Team Chaos is in a different mode. They have, I think, if not Super Saiyan, but still, they are still at their best. They are trying to give their best. But I don't know. My instincts are going with the team, the World of Battle.
Okay.
But PVS is down to one last man. Where is he? Must be playing like a possum because he does not want to get eliminated at this point of time. If he does get eliminated, he'll be at the fourth spot.
Hmm.
Not so many number of frags. They haven't got so many frags, but right now Team Chaos is engaging against Team Mafias. Let's see. This is a do or die situation. But regardless of the situation regardless of the team which wins, it is going to be a beneficial situation. Beneficiary out of this particular fight is going to be the World of Battle.
Yeah, rightly said and done. Because look at that, two good teams are already fighting. All that World of Battle
Oh,
has to do is just play a little bit more passively, and that's what that team is actually trying to do and go for. Look at that, Team Chaos is also surviving with the two-man power. If we talk about PVS, they are also surviving with the last man power. And if I'm not wrong, Team Chaos is out of equation, and the Booyah comes in, and this
yes.
is going to be Team World of Battle. And OG prediction coming from Insane's corner, that was absolutely amazing. And I believe Team World of Battle heard your voice, and they were able to capitalize on that particular perspective. And just like that, they waited it out. And eventually, while Team Mafia and Team Chaos went on head to head, gained some good blitz, and eventually had some good fights, the team which actually was able to cherish this whole situation was Team World of Battle. An amazing stance
Yes.
coming from the particular corner. They waited, and patience, I believe, is the key of success. I guess the elders were saying it quite rightly.
Yes, elders always whatever elders have said in the past, it's all right. It everything whatever they've said has always been a right and truthful situation. But right now, the World of Battle, they have secured their very first booyah of the day. Fourth game. We still have two more games to go. The second map, the fifth match, I would say. Generally, the second map, fifth match is going to be Purgatory. The
Hmm.
last one is going to be Kalahari. Let's see which teams are going to make it in the next two games. But there's one more thing.
Okay.
Raider, in the past four games, what
Yeah.
we witnessed is that until the very end, the team that has the man advantage, it wins, regardless of the number of frags they have been securing, regardless of how confident they are in the game. If they have the manpower, they win it. And
Yeah.
the team that have won the games in the past, in the last four games, the initial three games, every single team played little bit safer when it came to the second last circle.
Hmm.
Crucially, critically, they played very safe in the second last circle, I would say. The last circle, final battle, they have to give it all. They always come up with the advantage position and they try to seal the deal, put the final nail in the coffin so that they get one step closer to the booyah. But yes, second last circle is equally critical, has proven to be equally critical for every single team so far.
I mean, yeah, indeed. In the second last circle, you can easily be patient. You can easily learn that way the rotations are coming up. And apart from learning, you can easily throw some bullets, gain some good finishes, gain some good kills. And if you don't want to go for that, if your manpower is not that adequate, if you want to play a little bit more safer at that moment, that is also the call out, as we saw World of Battle doing that same exact strategy was implemented from World of Battle's corner also. While you were predicting that particular team, what the team was doing is playing a very safe, is playing very sequential. They were trying to make a defensive position. They were not going aggressive. They were in the zone, and that is why they tried to go on in a, let's say, defensive stance where they wanted to see some other teams fighting with each other. And meanwhile, getting the third party done as well, and that's what happened. Team Mafia and Team Chaos were fighting, but you also saw some shots coming on Team Mafia from the corners of World of Battle, and as well as to the corner of Team Chaos. And that is where I guess the whole situation went on south for Team Chaos as well as Team Mafias. And if I talk about PVS, the last guy was surviving, if I'm not wrong, that was Sham OP. He was the lone man wolf. And as you said, manpower is something which was very, very, very chaotic in terms of every single player, in terms of every single team to be precise, which were getting some good booyahs. Well, of course, manpower is something which is going to be crucial because we have seen in the first four matches the zone is way too open ended in the last zone. And when the zone is open ended, if you are the solo man standing, you won't be able to decipher and let's say get three down or four down, because obviously four players are going to shoot in your direction. You won't be able to just let's say deflect those bullets. This is not Matrix. This is the real game of Free Fire Max, and you are obviously
Yes.
going to get punished with those bullets.
Indeed, indeed. And that's the reason I am a big fan of Team The World of Battle. The way they play, they use their brain to the fullest.
Right.
The last three games, they tried to pull out good strategies, but unfortunately, they got taken down by other teams. Maybe there was a little bit of luck factor, always plays a crucial role. Every single team, they are trying to outplay every other team in the lobby, but there's only going to be one winner. This game, it was TWOB. We still have two more games to go. Let's see who is going to win the next two games, the last two games of the day, and ultimately who is going to be the hashtag one by the end of the day one. We still have a few more days, but every single day, if you end the day with at least top three position, you still stay in the game, you stay connected to the game. If you are in the bottom spot, you start losing a little bit of confidence. So I would say, if you end the day well, you are going to get and start the second day well. If you start the second day well, it is all relative. I would say, from start to beginning, you have to have a good start. You go through with consistency throughout the game and end the day well, it gives you a great start the other day as well.
Indeed, ending the day at a good note is going to be definitely very, very amazing for all of these teams, particularly. But one thing I'm very happy and stoked about is that some new faces are coming up in the lobby.
Yes.
Previously, we saw another team getting the winner chicken dinner. OG, sorry to be precise, Buya to be exact. OG was denied with that particular perspective. And on the other corner, if we talk about the fourth one, the Bermuda once again was delivered in the hands of Team World of Battle, was absolutely amazing.
Gee.
Buya is something which is going to be quite crucial for OG as well. But don't you think so? At this moment, OG is feeling the chills because OG, despite of getting back in the game, despite of getting the support from Pahadi's corner, despite of being risen from the shadows, they were unable to compete once again. They were unable to gain that kind of momentum, and they were taken down quite swiftly. But if we talk about teams like Mafias or teams like UG, if I'm not wrong, they were able to contemplate and get some good blows of their own, and that is something which is going to be quite crucial. But now, moving up ahead, we are going to witness the Purgatory, the map of three islands, where we are going to witness once again a lot of bloodshed coming up, a lot of beautiful places are there like Brasilia, Gold Coasters, and the other areas like Central. So you will see where the teams are going to drop in and how they're going to perform.
See, every single game, every single team is trying their level best. Everybody wants to win the battle. Nobody wants the second spot. But the destiny of the game is that only one single team is going to be at the hashtag one spot, at the Booyah winner spot. But the rest of the teams, they get good number of points, which is really crucial. Even after getting the Booyah, sometimes teams do not get well with the fights. They do not get good number of frags, so they come into the hashtag two, hashtag three spot. Right now, every single guy is trying to make a comeback. So definitely the team or Angotan Elite must be feeling a little bit of chills, must
Hmm.
be feeling a little bit of upset, because they must also be going towards their third booyah. They must also be expecting to get the hat trick booyah, which they could not. They got two booyahs back to back, which was not really easy, which was not at all easy. Third game they came in strong, but unfortunately they got taken down. But yes, they got good number of points from that game. In the fourth game as well, I would say not so many points, but since they already had a little bit of liberty, they
Hmm.
did well, because the fourth game, I would say it was not their very best game. Yet they managed to get 5 to 7 points, which is good. If in case OG gets eliminated in the early spot, it is going to be a crucial one for them. They would definitely feel disappointed by their performance. But if in case they are somehow managing to get 5 to 7 points, 7 to 10 points in any particular game, I would still say it's a good game for them.
I mean, yes, of course, if you're able to maintain that consistency in terms of your finishes and the kills that you are actually getting, kills and position to be precise, and if you are actually maintaining that kind of average performance in every single match that you're actually coming, I mean, that is something which is going to be quite good for you. Not getting that booyah is actually very, very, let's say, decisive. But then again, if you're getting some good points, as you said, 10 to 15 points in every single match is absolutely amazing. Booyah is something which is going to cut the deal quite short. But then again, the average point is something you have to actually work out as well. If we talk about World of Battle, sitting at slot number one, let's see how they're going to perform at this moment. If we talk about Team Mafia, well, a lot of eyes are set at this particular team. A lot of fans are there. A lot of people are actually expecting Team Mafia to perform equally well, but they are somehow failing. I don't know what is happening, but somewhere I guess the synergy is not working out. They are actually trying to perform a little bit shaky. They are performing a little bit shattered. But this could be another strategy that they're hiding their best for the end game.
Yes, quite possible, quite possible. See, Team Mafias is not known for their notorious gameplay. They are notoriously good, and sometimes they don't like to give in to the situation. They don't like to bring up their best strategy. Maybe they are simply aiming to for the second or third spot. Maybe simply they are aiming to get into the second round, not to dominate the lobby from the start. Get to the second round, get to the next round where the competition gets tougher, where the international teams are going to be, where the deal is going to be huge, where the stakes are going to be very high, and where the ultimate battle will begin. Right now, this sort of a battle where all the Indian teams are performing, where all the Indian teams are participating, this is quite a common ground for them. The real deal is when the international teams come in. That's where the real battle would start. But right now, we can see Orangutan Elite does not have a single frag so far. They have started good, but did not want to engage. And the Team Chaos, they also do not have a single frag so far. And after the third game, I would say the last game, fourth game as well, it was also a little bit of passive, because until the fifth or sixth circle, we could still see somewhere around 9 to 10 teams surviving. They were not engaging unless it was really necessary. So
Hmm.
we can clearly see a little bit of change in the mindset of every single team and every single guy in the lobby.
I mean, as far as the match is concerned, the teams have to evolve, and that is something they are actually working on. Anshef at this moment is getting connected with some few shots, but I would like to shift on one more topic. That guys, please make sure to tune in on the Hindi stream if you want to enjoy the Hindi casting and stuff. If you are actually unable to understand what Hindi is actually going to deliver to you, or if you want to enjoy our casting, you can easily tune in on our stream. But make sure to actually go ahead and support our Hindi casters as well, and meanwhile support us as well. And remember, guys, there are actually going to be two platforms for you to watch all together in this whole tournament, in this whole Asia Cup. It is going to be in Hindi and it is going to be there in English as well. So make sure to actually support and let's say tune in your favorite platform, in your favorite kind of language and the linguistic you actually love to watch in. But for the moment, if we talk about this particular team, Thala, Ansh FF, and the other guys like let's say BLK Bot, they are performing equally well. Team Mafia with a one amazing finish. Delete is the guy once again leading the charts for the team.
Team Mafias delete with only one frag. This time he has spotted a guy. Payne has spotted a guy. Let's see. Pain, is he going to be giving a permanent pain, or is it going to be a temporary one? Because we can see a couple of guys hiding behind the glue wall, but they're being shot at. And yes, I think somebody else took the frag. It was Payne who wanted to take down the frags, who wanted to get the frag for himself and the team. But behind the glue wall, there was somebody else, the frags from the far distance. I don't know who he is. I don't know who added the frag in his name. But right now, Payne Licky must be very upset.
Hmm. Indeed, that loss is actually going to be quite critical. For the moment, World of Battle is also looking strong. They have got the four-man power, but the only team which is actually lacking in their kind of consistency is going to be AG. Apart from that, Assassin Gamer. In the first one, they performed quite well, but after that, their performance is going down to the drain. On the other corner, if we talk about UG, they are also trying their levels to survive, but only two manpower is left. Zero Degree also is actually having the same fate. But on the other corner, Mafia Bala is trying to connect some good shots. Well, there we go. The glue wall is there, but Delete is trying to flank up on that particular perspective. But there we go. Delete gets the double kill. And with that, Delete is going to be the guy who is still giving up, let's say, the momentum booster and the confidence for the team of Mafia.
See, this guy never stops. Delete. He is actually a great player. And it's not just the team Mafias. He is indeed one of the best players of our Indian Free Fire community. He is the flag bearer when it comes to the best players. But
Mhm.
kill me. Kill Me has secured two frags. His name is Kill Me, but he does not want to get killed. He is actually killing the other guys, taking down the opponents, bringing some frags in to put up on the points table. Brasilia, this team is holding on top of on the northern side of Brasilia. It's a good spot, I would say. From here, they'll get a clear angle over so many other teams. But you do not need to get down. Right now, you are chilling at a safe location, but you have to look out for the team that are coming from the northern side as well, because there must be a couple of teams coming from the northern side. If I'm not wrong, Team Mafias must be coming from the northern side, from the fields area, and a couple of other locations. So you have to look out for every single team. Try to clear down your back. If your back is clear, you can move forward and you can get into the fight. Orangutan Elite, four guys with no frag. And if we talk about the overall points after the fourth game, Orangutan Elite with 79 points. Then we have coming in at the second spot TSG, but there's a fight happening. Pain, there's a guy who has come right in front of Pain. Let's see, Pain is gonna fall back. Yes, he has decided to fall back a little. He has decided to recollect and regroup with his team, and collectively they would want to fight. But the points table, Orangutan Elite are at a comfortable spot, and if they manage to get good number of points at this one, I think they would have an even comfortable situation.
Yeah, indeed, definitely. That is actually going to be the call out for Team OGs. But then again, if we talk about teams like TSG and Team World of Battle, after getting a 1-1 booyahs each, they are also performing. They are also at actually a safer spot, and that can be very critical for Team OG Elite. So, yes, of course, a sense of pressure is going to be there. But if I talk about Team Mafias, completely trying to fall back, but Rolex still gets connected on the front end. Well, there we go. We have a small peaky coming from the enemy, and that guy is absolutely crushing the hopes. And with that, if I'm not wrong, Team Mafias is going to be a little bit out of the equation in this one.
Okay, that was a critical, that was a crucial one. Team Mafias again, they've got eliminated. We still have 27 men to go. We still have 27 guys to get down in order to get one winner of our purgatory of our fifth game. In some time, we will head towards the last game of the day. But right now, Assassin's Army, they also do not have a single frag in their name in their game. But if you look at the team TSG Army, I can see Black has two frags. I can see Pawan has two frags as well. Both the guys, and I believe the other two guys as well, they must also be having a couple of frags. TSG Legend never stays put. He always like to get more frags. But right now, Assassin's Army has to get the momentum going. The very first game, they did exceptionally well. It was a sensational performance, but eventually their performance got down. I don't know what happened. Maybe the call outs, a little bit of mistakes are being made by either the team or the IGL. Regardless, you have to come back strong. You have to get few more points for you.
Definitely. Points are something which is going to be very, very amazing to just let's say get validated at this moment. If we talk about World of Battle, look at that. They are slowly but surely rising. Four amazing flags are already there from the corner, but still they are hunting for more heads. Let's see how they're going to perform. Well, typically, if we talk about Team Headhunters, well, they've also amazingly got six eliminations, if I'm not wrong. They are still surviving. Apart from Team Mafias, I guess every other team is also trying to chase some good blows. Assassin Gamers in this one, I guess they are performing quite well. PVS is also surviving. That's interesting. Team Chaos is still surviving. That's not that, let's say, surprising for the moment because in the last four matches, Team Chaos somehow manages to just be in the top four, top five. But then again, chicken dinner is something Team Chaos is unable to get for the moment.
Yes,
Will this be the first match for them? Booyah, yeah. Will this be the first match for them to get? Well, we'll be seeing very, very soon.
indeed, indeed. See, there are a couple of teams. There are very few teams who have managed to get the booyah, but there still are so many teams that haven't secured a single booyah, even though it is still the first game. But the booyah is very crucial. You have to get all the points necessary. You have to get all the booyahs that you can, and at the same time try to get to a point where you can maintain a balance when it comes to points, survival points, and when it comes to the kill points as well. The World of Battle, in the meantime, they've secured one booyah. The last game, fourth game, was their game. Let's see. Right now, they're looking confident, but we cannot disregard that we still have Orangutan Elite surviving, alive, and kicking. Team Chaos with four guys still surviving, looking confident, but they've only managed to get one frag. And I can clearly see, Raider, that there's a little bit of divide that is being created. Some teams are going aggressive, and some teams are going entirely passive. I don't know
Mhm.
what's the reason behind it. there is most certainly a divide that is being made, and this is not a good situation. This is not a good picture that is being created.
I mean, when you know that the stakes are way too high, getting that booyah is going to be quite crucial, and that is why quite a few teams are going to go in the other direction. Like, let's say, survive a bit more, and after that, aim for that booyah. And few teams are also waiting, let's say, getting aggressive and gaining the kind of consistency in terms of their kills and position as well. Well, of course, that team also wants to get the booyah, but then again, apart from the booyah, they also want to chase some good finishes, or should I say, kills. So that is something which is going to be there in terms of the minds of the IGLs, because IGL is the one who is going to orchestrate the particular fight. But at this moment, if I talk about PVS himself, well, the team is actually trying to fall short on the back end because they want to hold the center area so that they can eventually easily attain those amazing finishes. Because apart from having the four-man power, I think getting that booyah is going to be much more easy when you have the center location where you can easily hold up and gain some good points.
Yes. Gaining some good points is the only thing that every single guy in the lobby wants, but not everybody is going to get the good points. But right now, we can see Venom is trying to steal a few frags from the nearby distance, a few kills. Maybe if he gets lucky, he might find an angle over some knock guys, some guys that are already in a fight, and he might be able to secure some more frag. But right now, I'm not really sure whether he'd actually get some frag from this point of time. But in this particular game, headhunters are actually hunting the heads, that too left, right, center, every corner. They're trying to get the frags, and they are indeed getting frag. Team Chaos in the meantime, they're also sitting at still one single frag. Vivek and Kasana being the main guy, the Terminator, the Obliterator, the Dominator, the Firefighter, any given name you may, Kasana is one of those guys.
Yeah.
But he has also, similar mentality as just as Shanti that I mentioned. He's also a guy like Shanti. He is also, there's one more guy, Cumber, Assassin's Army, Cumber. All these guys generally like to play aggressive, but they do need a little bit of momentum. Once they hit the momentum, they become unstoppable. So far, we haven't been seeing so much of these guys, but I promise, Raider,
Hmm.
by the end of our first round, by the end, our first phase, our teams get to the second phase, we will definitely be we'll definitely get to see so many
Yeah.
great frags, so many great performance from these guys.
Yeah, definitely. The thing you are talking about, the aggression, the kind of, let's say, consistency from these particular guys like Shanti and the other players that you were talking about is absolutely amazing. But then again, they have to actually play along with the teammates, along with the team, so that they can actually get qualified for the next one and eventually be the champions of this Asian Cup. Because getting that booyah is actually going to create and actually going to take a lot of team effort. If that team effort is not there, players like Shanti won't be able to, let's say, get that booyah and eventually be able to go for the next phases. But at this moment, as you can see, Shanti and the other guy is just trying to chase the enemy, trying to just put him down to sleep. But the blue walls have been appointed by that guy. One player has been knocked out. Now Shanti is all on his own. Let's see how he's going to perform. The revival is also coming up. I believe he's going to be back in his fit. Yes, of course, he's back in the game. Oh, some more shots have been risen. As you can see, the shots are coming up, but still Shanti is unable to put him down. Oh, Shanti on the other corner gets knocked out.
Yes. And as of now, it is no longer, I would say, that 50-50
What?
scenario that we generally get to see at other stages. Right now, it kind of seems you have so much to lose than to win. Right now, the world of battle is looking very confident. They're at a comfortable spot, and there's only matter of time the world of battle wins the booyah. But headhunters is definitely going to they are definitely gonna try to steal that booyah away from the world of battle, from the team, the world of battle. These guys, there's a trio that is right now, but that was a great shot. Two
Oh,
guys taken
wow.
down at one single frag, and there you go, the world of battle gets there another booyah of the day. And quite a coincidence, first two matches of the day first two matches of the day, one was orangutan elite, the other one, the second match as well, was orangutan elite. Then the fourth and the fifth match, Bermuda and purgatory, both the matches secured by the world of battle.
Hmm.
This is quite a coincidence. But few moments back, sometime back, you mentioned that the team Orangutan Elite must be getting the chills. I
Now
can
they are going to
clearly
get it.
feel those chills right now. They are
Exactly.
definitely going to get the chills because they are being robbed away from the Booyah by the team, the World of Battle.
And I don't know what is happening to OG Elise. They are unable to maintain that kind of consistency, and eventually they are getting shattered. It might be some kind of scenarios where they're actually coming up in the drop clashes, or their rotations are not that armed up at this moment. A lot of things can actually go south. A lot of variables are there. A lot of things are there to suspect. But then again, if we talk about World of Battle, the way they're performing, the way they're aiming, that booyah, that mentality of this particular team is actually on point. They're actually getting some finishes. They're actually getting some good kills. And apart from that, Booyah is something which is pretty much clear written on their faces that yes, of course, we are here to get this particular scenario. From the start, they're not that passive. They're just maintaining their own way. If somebody comes in their way, they are going to crush them down. That is the kind of mentality Team World of Battle is actually having. And apart from that, Booyah is pretty much clear for them. Two good matches, two good Booyahs coming from their corner. One was there in the TSG's corner, two were there from OG Elite's corner. Now is the last match for the day in the Indian qualifiers. We'll be seeing it very soon that who is going to get the Kalahari in their hands.
See, the World of Battle is a sort of a team which doesn't really like to change their strategy. They get into the game, they play their own game. They don't really get affected by other teams, regardless. However, the number of points, however that other teams are playing, they
Hmm.
don't like to get affected by it. They get in, they analyze, they observe, and then they execute whatever skill set they have, whatever strategy they have come up with. They execute that. They don't get affected, and that's the key point. That's the key reason why Battle has secured back-to-back two booyahs. Yes, they are at a good spot. They might get one more booyah of the day. They might end the day with a hat trick. You never know. Team Mafias can come up on top in the last game. Every single team in the lobby, every single team has the capability. But there's one thing I would like to mention, which is a little dissatisfying right now. That headhunters could not get the booyah, even though
Hmm.
they had good number. 3v4 is not an off guard situation, I would say.
Right.
3v4 is somewhat, if not equal, then I would say 40
It's
60%
doable.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doable, it's indeed doable, but the way they pushed in, I
Hmm.
think that was a little bit of mistake. They sometimes getting into the fight collectively is good, but you have to maintain a little bit of distance. One grenade, two guys got popped down. The third one was a piece of cake. Then the World of Battle got their second booyah of the day, which could have been with the team Headhunters.
I mean, definitely headhunters also try their level best to get that booyah into
Yes,
their perspective. But the way you said that getting collectively and pushing collectively will somehow will be able to help you a lot. But then again, when it comes to the throwables, the nades, that is
yes,
something which is easily going to crush you down. A lot of things can actually go south, and I think headhunters might not have expected that in this last zone, the enemy could have actually been ready with the nades and stuff. They might have actually thought that these kind of utilities have been exhausted in all the fights that they're actually getting in. So yeah, we don't know what headhunters were thinking at that moment, but then eventually the callers were a little bit wrong. Yes, of course, they tried their level best to get that booyah, but finally, Team World of Battle was able to attain it. Now, Kalahari can be the map where headhunters or teams like Mafias or TSD, even UG Empire can actually rise once again. Assassin Gamer is one of those teams which I'm unable to see that why they are failing out. But then again, their rotations are not that amped up. Wherever they drop, they are actually having some kind of teams. And initially, they are getting the blood list and the losses there. Theirs are actually getting shattered, and that is somehow which is creating a lot of impact on the particular team because you have to be consistent. You have to be all together, let's say, in the close vicinity of 50 meters to each other so that you can easily create a support system for your team. If even though if your one good player has been taken down, we saw how, if I'm not wrong, from OG Elites, Vasu was there to actually give the backup
yes.
for Old Monk in the last one. So yeah, backup is something which is going to be quite crucial because this is not a solo tournament. This is not a duo tournament. This is a squad-based tournament. Their backup should be there. The synergy should be there, and the right kind of utilities is also something which is going to be quite important because as you said, insane manpower is
Yes.
important. Headhunters had the free manpower, but then again, the right kind of utility used by Team World of Battle made it possible for them to attain the booyah.
Yes, indeed. And I think we both agree to on this point, on this particular point, that Team Headhunter should have used a couple of couple of throwables at that moment rather than directly going headfirst in that situation in the fight. They should have gone with a couple of throwables. Should have thrown a couple of grenades on the team over the edge of the wall, which was behind which team TWOB was standing. But at the same time, there's generally some sort of a one particular meta where
Hmm.
when at this sort of a situation, one guy always tries to stay back and he goes for the heel battle, which I think headhunters were expecting. But no, the answer to it was no. The world of battle, all three guys were standing around the corner, they were holding the covers, they waited, and then they baited, and then they took them down. But right now, it's about time we talk about our one last game of the day, Indian qualifiers day one. So far, two teams have been proving their name back to back. One orangutanily, the other one is the world of battle. Both the teams, top tier teams. There was one more favorite team, that is team Mafias. Unfortunately, they could not perform well in the day, but the other two team, the fan must be very happy right now. Delete. They haven't. They've gone towards the confinery area. They'll get good loot. All the four guys, I believe, are no. I can only see two guys. There's Delete and Trolex. And see, this is the strategy of Team Mafia. They either like to play in a 1-3 split or they like to play in a 2v2 split. When it comes to 2-2 split, it is okay. I think that is a favorable situation because, as you said, giving cover to your teammate, never lose sight. Try to give your cover to the teammate. Always try to cover the back of your teammate, which is really necessary. But if you go 1-3, one guy gets into the fight. If he manages to get like one or two frags, it's all right. But if he doesn't, it is an unnecessary fuzz, I would say,
Yeah.
to because then you get a little bit of pressure that you have to revive your one single teammate that is being dead. But it's all part and parcel of the game.
I mean, see, every situation, every call out, every decision has a pro and its con as well. So yeah, playing in a split direction is absolutely going to create a lot of ruckus for you. But then again, when you are actually playing in a split direction, you can easily cross particular team and easily flank on them. So absolutely, I guess a lot of advantages are there, a lot of disadvantages are there.
Hmm.
It's about you who is going to actually come back in the fight. But at this moment, if we talk about team vitality, they are not looking that sharp. Well, of course, the revival is coming up. The first, okay, three finishes are already there from the particular corner. But then again, the team they are fighting with is absolutely amazing. Let's see how this whole situation comes up. For the moment, we are actually facing teams like UG in the Council Hall. Shrines have been covered by AG. PVS is there in the Refinery region. Oldhampton has been covered up by Assassin. And look at that. Some
Hmm.
beautiful shots coming from Avneet's corner, but still not finding the connection.
See, vitality. I in the past few games, I think I noticed the vitality in the very first game, and after that, very few. After that, from game 2 to 5, I could not even notice vitality. But let's see, they have already secured three frags. If it was, if Hex Esports was here, Vitality would have been very happy because Hex Esports and Vitality, both the teams like to take the drops at Stone Ridge, and they always go for the drop clash in the map of Kalahari. And when they do not have it, when they do not get the drop clash, I think Vitality or Hex Esports, either team would feel a little bit of, you know, missing something sort of a
Hmm.
situation when you do not have the drop class. Because whenever these two teams are in the lobby, they always go for the drop class regardless of the points, regardless of the position in the
Right.
points table. They always go for the drop class. But right now, Headhunters Punisher is punishing War 3000 Team Vitality by hunting their head. I think this could be the game of Headhunters. Last game got robbed away, but this time, Headhunters, I am expecting Headhunters to get their heads, to finish their hunt and get the booyah, much awaited booyah.
Oh, indeed. Booyah is something which is going to be the key point for every single team. Headhunters definitely is trying their level best, but the airship is also approaching and the safe zone is about to shrink in. So, definitely these teams have to be in the zone. Shanku, if I talk about this guy, well, there we go. The connections are coming up, and he's actually dumbfounded at this moment because a small sneaky head has been shown and some few bullets have been sprayed onto his particular face. But now let's see how he's going to actually cover up himself and eventually gain the blows because Shanku, well, he is a way too, let's say, risking his life particularly to just get that kind of blow. He's actually throwing some throwables but was unable to connect it. On the other corner, if I talk about Jaswal, he's also trying to push in. Oswald, to be precise, he's also trying to push forward. But then again, look at those shots coming up. Definitely Shanku is getting punched up, but Shanku was able to dish this 1v1 into his favor. But on the other corner, Shanku also gets connected. But the teammates of headhunters is actually here. Shanku with one amazing finishes. If I talk about Punisher, that guy is actually having three amazing finishes or three amazing kills, should I say. On the other corner, if I talk about Oswald, he's also trying to equally, let's say, balance out this situation. But the guy was terminated. Shanku with the first ever frag in his whole equation in this corner is absolutely amazing. If I talk about Punisher, well, he's actually coming up with the high ridges, trying to actually learn that way these ridges can actually implant and eventually some good shots can be delivered. But look at that. Shanku once again pushes in. The blue zone damage is also coming up. But definitely the second frag from HH is actually coming up. Headhunters, Kilmay was able to cherish this one finish into his perspective. They're a little bit outside the play zone, so definitely they have to be in the play zone. On the other corner, if we talk about Team Mafia, we have Bala with the pan. He's actually trying to hunt for the omelets, I believe. But right now, the rotations are something which is going to be quite crucial for this particular team because Team Mafias, well, only with the four amazing frags this team is residing at this moment. We want to see some more bloodshed from Team Mafia's corner. We want to see some more kills coming from the corner. But look at that. AFF's Black 03 manages to put one more down from the lobby, and the kill feed is actually going ham because 37 players are surviving. The zone is getting compromised. Kalahari is not the map where you can actually play a little bit more safe. You have to be in the same kind of indulgence. You have to actually survive a bit more. Look at those revival spots coming up. But right now, the situation for Team Mafias is looking strong. There is nobody who they want to get that revival. But look at that. We have some heads being shown. Pain can be actually one of those guys who can easily land some good shots. But is it going to be a possibility? If we talk about Team World of Battle, they're also looking strong with zero frags at this moment. Let's see what World of Battle is actually going to go with. But a beautiful knockout comes in. Alex was taken down. Okay, once again, if we talk about Team World of Battle, three amazing frags from the corner with the loss of Alex, which was quite critical. So obviously, Team World of Battle has to rise once again. Alex, will he be able to get rest up? And will he be able to, let's say, just be back in the scenario is going to be a bigger question.
I'm not really sure about Alex, but I think Aura Gaming, Kings Ajay finally managed to make his way to the resurrection point. But I think a couple of tokens are missing. For that reason, he could not revive his team.
Hmm.
I think now he's got the tokens. He is going to bring back his teammate. I'm not really sure what is he doing. Yes, Unstop has come. Now he'll look for few more tokens. But at the same time, if you look at the team, Delete with three frags, Spain with one, Trolix with one, Mafia Bala has lost his way. He'll be able to come back. He will make a comeback, and Delete will make sure of it because Delete is a great player. He needs his IGL in the game. Mafia Bala, as an IGL, he does his job well. And Delete, generally, Delete is not known for his sniping, but he is a complete package. He can do the sniping, he can do the nading, he is one of the best rushers in the team. And
Hmm.
sometime when the time of the hour is needed, he becomes the IGL as well. And that's the reason Delete is one of the best players of our Indian Free Fire community raider.
Well, indeed, being best is actually going to be quite amazing for this particular guy. But then again, you have to be consistent. You have to actually appraise their fans. But at this moment, the vending machine is actually going to get summoned up. Some good loots have been delivered from the particular corner. If we talk about Mafia Bala, he's back in the scene. Rolex is back in the scene. Pain is there. Delete with the three amazing blows is also trying to decipher quite a few blows. If we talk about World of Battle, after losing Alex, this team is looking a little bit shaky. But is it going to be definitely enough for them to cut the deal and get the boya? Is going to be the bigger call out. Elawat on the other corner, still having the upper ridge, trying to figure out that way the enemy can be coming from. Old Monk and Team OG. Well, look at that. They are playing a little bit more safe. Well, let's say a little bit different from their play style as they were playing in the first two matches. But right now, Team OG knows that that pressure is going to catch up to them very, very soon. So why not, let's say, just survive a bit more and eventually gain the booyah in the last one?
Indeed, every single team. See, this is the last game. I think I don't think it is for sure. Every single team would want to get their hands at the last booyah. Sixth match, last match of the day. Every single team wants to end the day with a bang, with a booyah. But let's see who is gonna get their hands at the banger. Unstop King Ajay. He managed to bring back Unstop. Unstop got dead, but in the meantime, Kaushik and John Cena, both the guys have come back from one to back on their feet. They are up with three guys. But the circle, look at the circle foundation area. This is going to be a tricky one because the foundation area is full of covers. Every single
Mhm.
guy can hold up to any place. All the other teams It's going to be a complicated one, but it's going to be a fun one for us. Great to watch circle for the viewers. But who is going to win the battle? I don't think at this point of time, your man number is going to make a huge difference, because it's all about covers. You've got
Right.
multiple covers to capture, and as you know, Raider, when you have multiple covers, it becomes a little favorable for the clutchers like Delete and Kasana and Shanti to clutch away and clutch out of the situation to do that required 1v4, which gives them an edge over other teammates.
Well, definitely, when they are at the comfortable spot, they can easily clutch out and easily get some good squad vibes, and that is something we all are actually waiting for. But at this moment, Zero Degrees Priyansh is actually trying to just sneak in around and eventually get some good blows. You can see that Ansh FF is also ready, more than ready to be precise, to get this one into his cover. And if we talk about teams like Team Mafia, after losing Mafia Bala, well, again, this team is actually getting cut short. But Alex is back in the scene, guys. Well, once again, Team World of Battle has been reunited, and now I guess the clashes, now I guess the finishes and the furnace is going to be quite amazing. It's all about the timing. Let's see what Alex is actually going to do. If Alex actually drops very close to the enemy, that can be quite critical. But at this moment, look at that. Trolex is out of equation. That's really very sad. Team Mafias are actually getting crushed quite a bit.
Orangutan Elite, four guys sitting comfortably, and Vitality. This time, I think Vitality is coming back stronger as well with the six frags in the game. Fabindro yet to open up a deal for himself, but he's the IGL of the team. Even if he does not secure the frags, even if he does not open up in his account, he would still be able to make a huge difference in the team, because his rotations are really required. His key skills is his one of the key skills is the intelligence that he brings in the table. Right now, Vasio team Orangutan Elite looking comfortable, but this is quite a surprise that Orangutan Elite is playing extremely passive. I know they want to get their hands at the third booyah of the day, and also it is the final game of the day, but playing extremely passive, I'm not really sure if it is the good strategy. If it is, this strategy is going to be a beneficial one for them or not.
I mean, see, playing passive is definitely going to actually give them some good boosters in terms of the position points. It is actually going to push them a little bit more close to the booyah. But then again, if they don't have the finishes, that is going to be quite critical. Mr. JYD on the other corner is trying his level best to get some good blows. Well, three amazing kills is already there in his own corner. Pahadi, if we talk about this guy, he's also getting connected from some shots. Vasio is absolutely empty-handed at this moment, waiting for the right time period to come in. Mr. JYT on the other corner manages to put one more down. Look at those beautiful shots coming up. Glue wall has been appointed so that that guy can't escape, and that's a quadra kill for this guy.
Okay, so the guys have started to build up quadra kills. Old Monk gets down, and I'm not really sure whether this time Vasu will be able to bring Old Monk or not. And there you go. I asked a question and I got answered right off the bat. Kaushik Malik, one last guy, one frag in the pocket. Yet to secure a few more frag, but I think right now he should not really go for the frag. Okay, this is a tough call. One guy down. I think that was a bad situation. The advantage that Orangutan and Elite had, they've lost the entire advantage. Old Monk doesn't have a gun. He's got a couple of guns, but is he good enough? Will he be able to do the best of his job with these guns? Because every single guy in the lobby has got his own combination of guns, has got his own preference. But I'm not really sure at this sort of a situation preferences are going to matter anyway, because the world of battle is coming back stronger. They have managed to secure six frag. The world of battle back to back. They are trying to take the shots, and they are heading slowly and comfortably with a hard rock solid cover to the much awaited third booyah of the day. I'm not really sure, but the tides are turning up in their favor.
I mean, the possibility is going to be there. Let's see how the possibilities are going to turn into their favor. Shanti is again turning up with that kind of carnage. Insane on the other corner manages to follow up his bone buddy. Well, look at that. The shots are coming up. Some damages might be getting inflicted. If I talk about Team OG Elites, still unable to conquer the way they were conquering in the first one, in the Bermuda and in the Purgatory. But after that, after the Kalahari map, I guess the situation for OGs are not looking that favorable. They are again back and forth trying to survive, trying to be in the top five, but unable to get that chicken dinner, get that booyah to be precise. On the other side, if I talk about Pahadi with one amazing finishes, they are surviving quite a bit. Mr. JYT, after four amazing kills, he is wiped out from the face of this particular Kalahari map. But Pahadi and Old Bunk, these are the two best buddies. They might be able to get that booyah. All right, guys. So as we all can see, the bloodshed is still coming up. The zones are actually getting cumbersome. The fights are actually getting quite tricky. As you all can see, if I talk about OG, well, they are still surviving. Tala on the other corner manages to survive.
Hmm.
Oh, shots are absolutely deadly. Now it's all about these two giants. Triple kill is coming from Pahadi's corner. The way he's performing, well, there we go. The quadra kill is also has been someone. The Boya is about to come in. Let's see which team is going to get. Is it going to be the guy? Oh, just like
Oh,
that, I believe the battle is actually dumbfounded.
okay, okay. The World of Battle has got eliminated. Which team? Which team? This one I can see Assassin's Army and Assassin's Army. Finally, they've sealed the deal in the last game of the day. The sixth match, the map of Kalahari has gone in the favor of the team Assassin's Army. What a beautiful end to a beautiful competition. What a beautiful end to a beautiful day. The way this team played, the way all the teams played, it was exceptionally well. But until the very end, Assassin's Army kept on fighting, kept on surviving, and they've managed to secure the most awaited booyah of the day. I think they were looking very strong. They had their keen eyes on the booyah, and finally they have got their booyah, which is definitely going to give them a huge boost in tomorrow's day because it is still the first day. Out of six matches, two booyahs have gone with the team Orang 10 Elite. Two booyahs have gone with the team TWOB as well. One booyah with TSG Army, the other booyah one sharing with the Assassins Army. Four teams, all in all, in total, they've got the booyahs out of six matches. But let's see what are the actual points table, which we will get to see in a couple of minutes.
Very soon we are going to get the points table, and that is actually going to show that, let's say, it is basically a report card that we actually use
Yes.
in the schools and colleges, whatever you're actually studying at this moment. This is basically a report card which is going to see that as which is going to show us that who are those giants, who are those teams which have actually managed to capitalize in terms of their booyahs and in terms of this Asia Cup India qualifier. We'll be seeing it very, very soon that which are those teams which are on top. I believe OG is for sure going to be there somewhere in the top two, top three, and Team World of Battle along with that is also going to cherish some good positions, because if I'm not wrong, Team World of Battle was able to get some good finishes as well as the position in this one, in the last match, in the Kalahari, in the sixth match for the day. But if I talk about OG Aries, they were also failing a little bit. But then again, after that, I guess Pahadi was the guy who actually manages to capitalize, who was able to attain quadra kills, and eventually, I guess, with that, the let's say the cat and mouse race is actually going to be amplified quite a bit in terms of day number two. But I believe this gap of, let's say, few hours, let's say 16 to 18 hours, is going to give a huge time period for these IGLs to just learn, evolve, and get some good strategies for the next day.
Yes, of course. And since you have mentioned report cards and the way we used to get our report cards back in the golden days when we used to go to the school, I used to feel very anxious about the report card because here there's a major difference that here the teams know their points. Back then, I knew what I wrote in the exam. I did not know. I didn't know what exactly the results are going to be. But here, the key difference is that the teams know their own points, but
Yeah,
they don't know how many points the other team has secured after
right.
the end of the sixth match, which is going to be a crucial one. Every single team must be feeling a little bit of pressure because every team wants to stay on top. If
Yeah, yeah.
one team is going to be hashtag one, but all the other teams, they do not want to lose the second spot. If not the second, then third. If not the third, then fourth. Top five. Every single team, I think. When the tournament happens in quite a few phases, when you have a couple of days for one single phase, every day by the end of any day, the teams would want to stay in the top five positions so that they still they still have a little bit of possibility to make a good comeback in the next day, in the following day. But let's see which five teams are going to be on top five, and which seven teams are going to be in the bottom seven.
I mean, the pressure is not going to get cut shorted because the teams which are at the top are going to feel the pressure that somebody is catching up
Yes,
to us. There is somebody behind us, and the teams which are at the bottom, they are actually having some other kind of pressure that we are at the bottom. Let's rise a little bit. And the teams which are at the middle tier, well, they are facing the pressure. We might just get pushed down, or we might just climb up. So there is a pressure for
yes,
every single team at
every
this
single
moment.
team.
Apart from the team, every single player is also as if facing a pressure because some of them are giving the tryout, some of them are trying to please their fans, and some of them are trying to grind for a better stage, or let's say the grand finale. They're trying their level best to be in the grand finale of this Asia Cup. So obviously a lot of stakes are there, but don't just feel shy to come back
Yes.
and to actually retaliate. And also for these players and for these esports enthusiasts which are trying their level best to make their future in the Free Fire Max arena, you have to gain some kind of strategies from these guys. Absolutely, give us the personal touch of your own. Show us that what you actually hold
Yes.
as an individual. Apart from that, you have also to learn from these giants because there is something in them, and that is why they are known as the big giants of this whole Free Fire community.
Talking about the points table, I'm really curious who is going to get the hashtag one position, because hashtag one position is really crucial. And the other question, whether a little bit of buffer is there or not, because initially we were very confident that OG did have a buffer back then after the end of at least three matches. I would say first half the domination was entirely made by the team Orangutan Elite, but the tables were turned upside down, the tides were shifted in the favor of the World of Battle. They had good games prior to the third game, but they had their best games in the fourth and fifth match. They got booyahs back to back. They got good number of frags. So I'm really curious, and I want to see which team has managed to get on to the top. Initially, it was Orangutan Elite. I want to see whether TWOP, whether the World of Battle has dethroned the kings of the first half, whether the World of Battle has got up to the team Orangutan Elite and made a buffer or not. Because if you want to comfortably go to the second day, you need a little bit of buffer, you need a little bit of liberty in order to play the risky game, in order to make some risky moves which either can give push you back in a huge disadvantage or get you the game.
Well, definitely, I guess that liberty is going to be quite desperate for this team known as OG Elites. But at this moment, if I talk about World of Battle, the way they are chasing with those two amazing booyahs is absolutely amazing because now the consistency and should I say the intensity of this particular fight is going to
Yes.
rise a bit. And the second day is also going to be full of joys and full of chaos. For us as an individual, we are going to enjoy a lot of things coming up in this particular battle. But then again, if we talk about the teams like OG Elites and Team World of Battle, they are actually going to be a little bit more shaky on their own ends because the first position is actually getting countered very soon. You have to, let's say, also take in consideration teams like TSG because they're also coming up with a chicken dinner and they are being consistent. Yeah, Assassin Gamer Army
Yes.
also was able to get some good chicken dinner into their perspective, good booyah to be precise into their perspective. But then again, if we talk about the kind of consistency between Team World of Battle and Team OG Elites, they are on another level. But what about the
Indeed.
second day? What is going to happen in the second day is something we have to be worried about. But before that, points table is something we are all waiting for that because points table will show, despite of getting booyahs, despite of getting back and forth two good booyahs, where is Team World of Battle is standing and where OG is standing, where TSG is standing, and what happened to Team Mafias. We'll be knowing it very soon.
Not so great day, not so great performance by the team
Yeah.
Mafias. The fans are a little upset, but that's all right. That's all right. See, it's just a game, it's just a day. It's not the entire tournament. You still have the rest of the tournaments in your hand. You can try and come back in the next day, later stages as well. We have a journey of 5 days. By the end, after 5 days, after 30 matches, we'll get to see our top tier teams which make it to the next round. So the battle is not lost yet. It is still the day one. Yes, there are a couple of teams that are standing tall and strong, that are smiling and that are being very confident, but at the same time there are total number of teams 12. 12 teams are going to fight, only 3 teams are going to make it to the next round, and you still have 24 matches to go. If you try and dominate rest of the 24 matches, you will be able to make it to the next round. So no need to get worried. Every single team will get their chance, will get their fair share of matches to get to the next round. But the only thing that is to see, do not let other teams get more points and you try to go get the frag points and at the same time go get the booyah. Because I personally believe, Raider, that
Mhm.
there should always be a balance,
Right.
and every single team should always see, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal for the day is to get to the top, but that goal is to be split in multiple objectives throughout the number of games. For say we have 6 games in the day, we can split that particular goal into 6 points, into 6 parts. Each and every game try to secure the average number of frags, the average number of points. Sometimes if you manage to secure good ones, you get to the end and you get the booyah, but if not, you try to go for 8 to 10, 8 to 12 points, which today, initially, up to 4 matches, I would say orangutan elite did pretty well. Eventually in the fifth game they came back, they were down in the corner, they could not do extremely well, but yes, they did manage to secure 4 to 5 points in the name, which is definitely going to give them an advantage. So this should be the strategy for all the teams. And every single team should also look out for every other team and the strategy that are being
Right.
applied, because this is a huge stage for everyone.
I mean, performing is actually going to be carried away by the enemy as well, and as well as you. You have to actually
Yes.
consider what you are actually performing, how you are performing, and eventually how the enemy is reciprocating to that performance, how they are actually coping up with that performance, and you have to cope up and adjust yourself in that particular lobby and get that booyah. Because booyah is obviously going to give you that 12-point booster. Apart from that, it is going to give you the motivation. The enemy is also going to feel a little bit, let's say, submerged in your kind of domination in that particular fight. So obviously a lot of things are going to be there which you have to calculate, which you have to be worried about, which you have to actually pull through. So we'll be seeing very soon that how these teams are going to cooperate with each other and get those amazing flags into perspective. The day one overall standing will be here anytime soon, and will with that we'll be seeing how these standings are actually going to come up and the challenges they are going to face in the next day is also going to, let's say, get a little bit more clear. It will be lucid at how these teams are going to perform. And apart from that, we have got the leaderboard, we have got the overall standing of day number one. PVS Gaming is at actually hashtag 7. Well, of course, the suspense from the production team is coming up. You are going to see the teams coming from hashtag 12 to hashtag 1. That's interesting.
Indeed. Aura Gaming, 6 matches, 17 points. Previous Gaming with 32 points coming in at the 7th spot. Team Chaos with hashtag 8, 19 points. Team Vitality. See, this is why I said that I did not actually see a lot from the Team K or Team Vitality. But coming in at the number 6 spot, we have Team Mafias with 28 points. I'm sorry, 59 points. Then we have at the fifth spot Headhunters with 66 points. Assassins Army at the fourth place, thanks to the booyah of the final game, 72 points and given their way to the fourth spot. TSG Army making their way at the third spot with 74 points, and the World of Battle at the second spot with 93 points. And then we have none other than Orangutan Elite. This is what we've been waiting for with the 108 points in the first spot. And it's a good thing that this team has managed to get their hands at the very high century, 108 points. They've hit the cent. The World of Battle 7 points away from the century, but all in all, I would say it was a good game. Position points 52 and kill points 56, and I think Rangutan Elite 56 points. This is the highest number of kill points that's been secured by the teams.
I mean, OG Elite is the only team which is crossing the triple digit marker, which is massive. The way they are performing is absolutely massive. The way they are actually getting some good blows is massive. But apart from that, now the next day is going to be full of challenges for them as well, because Team World of Battle with 93 points is catching up. There is a gap of 15 points. That is something which we have to actually take in account for. But the way Team World of Battle is actually chasing, the way they are performing is absolutely amazing. Other teams as well as also trying to pull through very, very amazingly. But for that moment, I guess we have to see and bid a farewell for you guys, because today's day, the day number one of Indian qualifier, is already at a loss.
So this is it, guys. I think it is about time we say goodbye. We'll be back tomorrow. This is me, Insane. I have alongside bidding you goodbye, Raider. Thank you so much for watching. Signing out.